Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session today. Today is our first session. I'm going to give you the demo. What are the course content that we're going to discuss? And the very first thing what I will do is like today, how to create a free tier account in the GCP. That is what is the agenda today. And first, I will also tell you what is the course content that we are going to discuss in our session. Okay, so all the things related to the course content, and after that I will tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP. First, let us understand what is a Google Cloud Platform, guys. Okay, so GCP, what is GCP? Okay, so we are saying nowadays cloud platforms become very famous because cloud platforms are mainly responsible for the cloud computing. Okay, so all the computation required for the data engineering or Kubernetes or application development, everything will be taken care by the cloud platform itself. Likewise, in the Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider like AWS and Azure. So it is also providing you the cloud computing services. Okay. If we have to say what are the services that the GCP is providing, okay, in terms of a data engineering, you can look at the databases that it is providing, and also big data tools, big data processing tools, so many other. So these are the things that the Google Cloud provides. For example, there is a compute engines, Kubernetes engines, app engines, like with cloud functions, serverless platforms, fully managed services. Okay, so all of these things that the Google Cloud platform is providing for us. Okay. In our session, what we are going to discuss this, let me open a OneNote where I'll tell you what is the course content that we are going to discuss in our session and a later point of time. So if you guys have any questions, I will we will spend the time to discuss if you guys have any questions. And let me tell you what is the course content first. So here is the course content, guys. So as we already know, as I mentioned, Google Cloud Platform is providing a pool of cloud computing services such as Google Storage and database services, as well as big data services. Okay. Here also you can see Google Big Data Services. Okay. So in our session, what we are going to discuss is these are the things that we are going to discuss in our session, guys. Google Storage and Database Services. Okay, the very first service that is what we are going to discuss is Google Cloud Storage. What is a Google Cloud Storage? Why it is important? What kind of a tool it is? What kind of a data it is going to store? All the things related to the Google Cloud Storage. And not only that, very important things about is like security aspect, because Google Cloud is one of the scalable and secured platform. So when you say secure platform, how do you make sure that it is secure? So with the help of the access control, with the help of the retention policies, with the help of the bucket access. So all of these things we are going to discuss. And after that, we are going to look at the cloud SQL. Okay. For that one, let me actually open my pen. Database services. Okay. This is one point where we will be able to learn storage and database services. Okay, in this one, we are going to first see Google Cloud Storage. Yes, Google Cloud Storage is acting as a data lake in the GCP. So we are going to learn all the concepts related to the GCP. So it is acting as a data lake. So we will learn what is a data lake, why it is a Google Cloud Storage is having a considered as a data lake here, how much amount of data we can store in the Google Cloud Storage, all of those things we will see. Okay, and we will see practically how to create a bucket and how to upload objects and how to work with the Google Cloud Storage with from the Cloud Shell or Linux commands. So all of those things we will see, guys. And one more thing. So this is a storage perspective. What about the database perspective? So for the RDBMS solutions, RDBMS, we have Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner, guys. So we have two services which are considered as the RDBMS solutions, Cloud SQL as well as Cloud Spanner. What is this Cloud SQL, guys? Cloud SQL is one of the fully managed services provided by the GCP for running the MySQL database, MySQL engines, as well as PostgreSQL engines, as well as SQL Server. That means if you have a on-premises MySQL, if you wanted to migrate it to the same MySQL with the same version to the cloud, you have these services available, readily available, guys. Okay, so this is a Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner that we are going to see in our sessions. Instead, I would say here like this. Storage services. We have here RDBMS. In RDBMS, we have first one Cloud SQL, second one is Cloud Spanner. Okay, these are the two services comes under RDBMS. What about a NoSQL databases, guys? If you ask me, so in a NoSQL databases, we have a big table. Okay. NoSQL databases. So we have big table, and we have one more thing called data store. Okay, so these are the two databases acting as a NoSQL databases in the GCP. One is big table, one more is data store, guys. Okay, so these are all storage and database services. Okay, what is sir? One is Google Cloud Storage, one more is Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner, and the third one is a big table and data store. So these are the Google Cloud Storage and database services. Okay. So what about the other big data tools that we are learning, sir? If you ask me, the big data tools that we are learning here is because we do get the data from a multiple data sources, right? We do get the data from multiple data sources. Once the data from a multiple data sources we have, we are going to first send it to the storage layer or a data lake or a staging layer. Once we have the data in the staging layer, we wanted to send the data to where, guys? We wanted to send the data to send that data to the data warehouse. After that, there will be a different users will be there. Either it will be ad hoc request, or it will be a reporting purposes, or it will be a business manager asking for a requirement. So there will be different requirements. So based on those requirements, we are going to create some insight tables on the data warehouse. Those will be used for the reporting purposes, or those will be used for the decision making purpose. Okay, so this is how it looks like this. If I wanted you to understand clearly, so here data will be first ingested into the data lake. So here it can be an RDBMS. It can be a web server on an application. It can be a web server or an application, guys. Or it can be a CSV file from an application or IoT data from an IoT application. So you get a data from a multiple data sources. You try to ingest the data into the data lake. So this is your data lake, guys. You try to ingest the data into the data lake. And once you have the data in the data lake, you try to first send the data to the where, guys. You try to process the data and send it to the data warehouse. Okay, what you are doing, guys, here? You are trying to process the data. Okay, process the data, transform the data, clean the data, whatever the things you name it, all of those things, guys. Okay, you try to process the data and send it to the data warehouse. Finally, as per the business requirements, it will be creating a ML models. There will be a dashboard requirements. There will be ad hoc requirements. So based on the BI requirements or ML or some ad hoc required. Ad hoc. Okay. So this is how it will be, guys. Okay, so this is what is a typical architecture of a data world, guys. A data engineering, in a data engineering, what we will do in a high level, if you want you to understand, this is what we do, guys. So we will be working on an ingestion process. Here it is a source, guys. You can think this is a source. Okay, from source to the staging or a data lake. People call it as a storage layer. Okay, and here we are going to do what, guys? Ingestion, right? Ingestion are collecting the data, and what we are doing is we are doing process. What we are doing in a data warehouse, we are trying to analyze the data, transform or analyze, right? Transform, finally analyze. Analysis. So this is what I am calling, what, you know, guys, this is what is mean by a data life cycle. In a data life cycle, you're gonna get the data from a source, you do the ingestion into a storage layer, and you do processing on top of it to clean the data or prepare the data. You do some transformations on top of it, and you try to analyze the data to improve your business. So this is what is called as a data life cycle. In a data life cycle, ingesting the data, collecting or ingesting the data, and storing the data, processing or transforming the data, finally analysis, or you can also say dashboards, report creation. You can also say report creation, reporting. Okay, reporting. Okay, so this is what is the typical life cycle, data life cycle, guys. In a data life cycle, this from the source to the finally reporting, that is where your destination is, right? You are going to create some dashboards, or you have a table that you can do directly do the analysis, or you ingest the data and finally store it in a one, instead of a storage layer, you can just mention it as a storage layer, storing, data storing. Okay. Okay, this is what it is, a typical architecture. In this one, what you are doing, you are having a data sources from here, and you are ingesting into the data lake, and from the data lake to the data warehouse. Finally, you will be having a different requests. So based on this one. So in a data life cycle, these are the processes that you are coming up with, guys. In this one, you see, you are having a source, sorry. You are having a source, ingesting, storing, processing, as well as transforming the data. So this is what is a typical architecture. It will be real. This architecture is very helpful for you to understand the data engineering, guys. But here, what are the RDBMS? So, okay, sir, this is a data engineering life cycle. But you tell me what are the RDBMS technologies that we are going to learn in our sessions? If you ask me that question, okay. So here I have mentioned here RDBMS, Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner. Sometimes it can be a non-RDBMS as well, nothing but a NoSQL databases as well. That can be a big table or a data store. Okay. Sir, for ingestion purpose, what are the tools that we are using, sir? There are plenty of the tools for the ingestion purpose. People are using the PubSub, people are using the Kafka connector. We are going to learn the PubSub, guys. Okay. What about the data lake, sir? As a data lake, we are learning the Google Cloud Storage, guys. Okay. What is the data lake, sir? In GCP, we are learning the Google Cloud Storage that is acting as a data lake. Okay. And after that, we wanted to do some processing on top of it, right? This is also very important step, guys. This is not the very simple step. Processing. What are the processing tools that we are going to learn in our session? If you ask me, I want to mention those points here. Okay. Data processing services. Data processing services, that first thing we are going to learn is data proc for Hadoop and Spark environment. Data flow for Apache Beam with Apache Beam programming model. Data fusion for creating a data pipelines without writing any code. One more is Cloud Composer, nothing but Airflow environment, managed Airflow instance, guys. For creating a DAGs. It is a workflow orchestration tool where you create a DAGs with the help of the Python coding, guys. Very important tool. Okay. You're going to look at the PubSub. And so these are the data processing systems that you are going to learn in our session, guys. Okay. So this is what I call as a data processing tool. Data processing tools in GCP. Okay. So if you wanted to process the data, okay, you can use these many tools. According to your requirements, sir, if I wanted to work with the data, if I wanted to work with the Hadoop environment and Spark environment, then you go for the data proc. If you wanted to work with a serverless platform and Apache Beam programming model, then you go for the data flow. You don't wanted to create a data pipe. You wanted to create a data pipeline, but you don't wanted to write any code. You wanted to create a pipeline and do the transformations without writing any code. That's where you have to go for the data fusion, guys. And one more thing, you have a plenty of workflows with you, and you wanted to manage all the workflows, schedule them, manage them, and even if something goes wrong, also if you wanted to take care of the fixing the problems, issues, you can look at the logs. So all of those things, if you wanted to have, you can go to the Cloud Composer. That is the Airflow Manager instance where you will be able to have plenty of options available. You can schedule the pipelines, you can monitor the pipelines, you can create the DAGs, you can do anything in there. And one more thing is a PubSub is an big data ingestion tool where you will be able to streaming data ingestion tool where you will be able to create a topic and subscription for each and every application where you wanted to get the data. So a message will be pushed to the topic, and via subscription data will be reached to the final application. So this is what is the data processing tools, guys. Okay. And after that, okay, after that, not only this one, sir. For example, in your company, you wanted to do some kind of a triggering. For example, think that in your data warehouse, you have created one table, and that table is having a lot of problems. Okay, if problems are more than one, you wanted to get an email alert. Okay, what do you wanted to do, sir? If a problem has, if the issues are more than one, you wanted to get an email alert. Okay, that is one thing. And one more requirement is like you are creating a data bucket in the Google Cloud Storage, and there will be a file uploaded. As soon as the file is uploaded to the data lake, you wanted to send it to the data warehouse by doing some transformations. Okay, so that is where one more you wanted to trigger an event. So if you wanted to do some kind of event-based things in the GCP, you have a cloud functions readily available, guys. It is a serverless platform. You can go for event-based things. That is also we are learning, guys. Cloud functions, very important tool. This is also okay. The cloud functions also we are learning. And if you wanted to manage the user and access, identity and access management, user and project management. If you wanted to manage your project and user access, that's where you have a very bigger tool. It will be available in all the cloud platforms. That is IAM, guys, very important. In IAM, what is a user, what is a user account, what is a service, what is a service account, and what is a role, what is a permission, everything, each and everything, because this will be very helpful for those who wanted to manage the access. Because as a 3 years, 4 years experience, guys, or more than that, we need to understand at least who should be having access to what. Okay, who should be having access to what, and what kind of actions he can do it in that particular service. Unnecessarily we don't want it to provide access to anyone, right? So that is where we will be taking care of all the user access as well as the project management with help of the IAM. IAM is a very authorization tool, I would say. Authorization tool in the GCP. Not only in the GCP, it will be available in the AWS as well as Azure as well. Okay, identity access management, guys, that is also we are learning. So you will be able to see here data lake, cloud spanner, cloud SQL, cloud spanner, bigtable, data proc, data flow, data fusion, cloud composer, pubsub, cloud functions, and user and access management with the help of the IAM. So these are all the tools that we are going to learn in a very detailed manner. Okay, data processing is here. And I sorry guys, I actually forgot a very important tool, that is BigQuery. That is our data warehouse, right? That is also comes, actually that is not a data processing tool, that is a data warehouse tool. It is a BigQuery. Okay, BigQuery. Okay, what is a BigQuery, guys? BigQuery is a modern data warehouse. It is acting as a data warehouse in the GCP. Okay, so this is also one more important thing that I actually forgot to mention somewhere. So this is a very important tool, sir, comparatively. Okay, so this is all about the data warehouse, and if you wanted to connect it to the data warehouse and do some BI activities, we have a data studio and data looker, but we are not just focusing on those data visualization part, but at the end of the session, how people are connecting it to the data warehouse and doing some dashboards on top of our data, how and how it will be helpful for them. So we will see for those things, but it is not too much deeper, guys. This course is only responsible. This course is mainly intended for the data engineers. Okay, so this is what we are going to do, guys. Okay, any questions anyone having so far on the course content? Any questions, guys?
Yeah, hi Saidhul, good morning.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Yeah,
So in this course content, did you cover all kind of like a AD authentication, like Active Directory part is or not?
so that is comes under IAM. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And cloud functions. Okay.
Yes,
So it's a kind of like a developer tool.
it's a data engineering. Which
Okay.
one you are asking? Cloud functions is a developer tool.
Yeah, no. I'm asking. Basically I'm a .NET developer. So can I
Okay,
consume those services to how my
of course.
intention is to create service with authenticated
Sure.
authorized service, and I can consume that service through .NET.
That yeah, you can learn a lot of things here. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
How much frequently will be using SQL?
Your voice is very less. I couldn't actually hear. Can yeah.
How much frequently will be using SQL queries?
Yeah, frequency of SQL queries. So I would like you to understand that SQL and Python becomes very famous here in the data engineering. If you wanted to see Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner SQL, BigQuery SQL, And even if I go to a data proc, and if I wanted to work with the PySpark, I'd be using the Python plus SQL plus Spark. Okay, so again it comes in SQL, and data flow SQL, data fusion, no tool, cloud, it's a Python. So this is how it is, guys. If you wanted to understand all the concepts, whichever whatever I am saying, so you would be able to, I am expecting prerequisite for the course is a basic, or at least a basic knowledge on medium knowledge on SQL and little bit of Python, little bit, at least what is the data type. Okay, all the data types, if you learn it in the Python, that is enough. Okay, but SQL, I would expect a medium knowledge, guys. Okay, so it is, SQL is very important, and as a data engineer, if you wanted to grow, SQL is very much important, and you should be able to understand all the concepts. For example, what are those concepts? Are all the data types, or actually how to create a table, how to delete and update table. Those things are DDL commands and DML commands, and aggregations. Okay, so basic, I would say. So the concepts that you can focus on the SQL and Python, I would like to explain here, guys, so that if you are familiar with these concepts, you are well and good. Okay, in SQL. Okay, so all DDL and DML. So these are the basic things. I know you have to just to focus on how to create a table, how to delete a table, how to truncate a table, how to update a table, these things. Okay, and after that, I would expect you to have a aggregate, learn about aggregate things, aggregate functions. Okay, and one more thing is ranking functions, and the fourth thing is we have table. So there is a temp table, common table expressions, and there is also one more concept, so focus on that as well. Temp table, common table. In a temp table, there is a local temp table, global temp table, and the common table expressions. So these things, CTE. And the fifth thing, I forgot one more thing. Yes, mainly, guys. So join. Okay, unions, group by, order by. Okay, group by, order by. I think this is it. If you are just are coming up, if you are focusing on these things, that is enough. In aggregate function, min, max, count, all of those things, ranking, row number, a dense rank, a rank function, all of those things, and temp table and CTE joins. You will be at least inner join, left join, right join. That is enough. Unions, union and union all, group by, order by. I think this is enough, I believe, for the SQL, guys. Okay, if I remember anything, I will tell you. For the Python, I would expect you to have first thing, data types, guys. All the data types and differences. Very important thing. It actually takes a lot of time to understand these data types. And okay, then the very next thing is like aggregate functions. How do you do it in the aggregate function? Okay, if you get a time, look at the map and reduce. And if you still get a time, just focus on pandas framework. In a pandas, look at the data frame concept, how to create a data frame concept. That's it. Okay, if you are just focusing on these things, that is enough, I believe. Okay, all the data types, aggregate functions, map and reduce, pandas, data frame concept, if you get it. Okay, but minimum, the basic thing I would expect is this thing, all the data types and their differences. Because if I say list, you should understand what is a list. If I say tuple, if I say a dictionary, if I use some other data type, you should be in a position to understand what is an array. You should not confuse, right? You should not you should not be able to, you should be able to understand each and every term that I'm using in the Python. So that is what I want you to understand. Okay, so these are the concepts that I would expect from you guys. These are very simple concepts. If you sit for this is for 2 days, this is for 1 day, you'll be able to understand all of these concepts. That's it. And development perspective, what we are going to learn in our session, if you ask me. So these are the prerequisite, right? So what I will be expecting, what kind of a development knowledge that I'm expecting from this course, if you ask me, you can expect, I would directly mention here itself, you can expect SQL development knowledge, and one more is PySpark development. Okay, these are the two things that we are focusing on. Okay, so sometimes we are also using the Python, so Python also you can do. Okay, so this is what it is. So I will also tell you how you can actually go for the Java also. So that is also fine. Sometimes one of the code or two of the codes I will also include the Java, but that is more for you to understand. Okay, this code, the code will also be there in the Java. But the thing is like our main focus is on SQL and Python for the data engineering, guys, because it will be really helpful for you if you wanted to grow your career in a data scientist level or a machine learning mode. Because as a data engineer, if you work for the next 2-3 years, you will be able to easily enter into the data scientist roles, or you can also go for the machine learning roles, because it is actually one another linked, guys. Okay, so this is what is a prerequisite that I would expect from you guys. Okay, this is the thing that I would if you wanted to, sir, what are the concepts that I have to go for before coming to and attending these sessions? What are the sessions? What are the things that I have to recapitulate? If you ask me, these are the things you recapitulate, guys. Okay, go for recap. And we will be learning SQL development, Python, PySpark, all of these things. No worries, because SQL will be used in most places. Python will also be used in most places. Okay, so that is one more thing. And we will also be looking at different formats, guys, CSV, Parquet, and big data formats. So I will also be telling you what are the difference between the big data formats. So because in the interviews, some people are asking me if you are working on a big data development. So did you work on the Parquet, and what is the main advantage of using the Parquet? Those kind of things also we will discuss in our sessions. That is not a problem. And I think that is enough, guys. If I missed any questions, okay, I think roles offered after this course. Like once I have completed this course, what are the roles I am eligible? If you ask me, you can go for the data engineering roles. You can go for the Google Cloud Platform and GCP engineer, GCP data engineer, as well as big data developer, PySpark development. You can able to work in the PySpark, because we are not just working in only one area, guys, right? So you can see each and every tool itself, it is a one project, guys. So data project will be there, data flow, data fusion, composer. So these are all roles itself. Okay, so some data engineer working on a data proc, some data engineer working on a BigQuery, some data engineer working data fusion, some data engineer solely working on creating a data. So this is how it will be. And some people working on RDBMS data migration projects. Okay, data lake projects. So these are all things are related to the data projects only, guys. And after this, all the concepts are covered. Okay, during our course also we are going to cover many projects. So few projects are covered. I mean, once for example, if I am talking about a data proc, while I am doing the data proc, I will be able to cover the project as well. So what are how many projects that we are covering? If you ask me, guys, we are going to cover almost 4 to 5 projects, real-time projects. And one more thing is like these are real-time projects you can able to put in your resume. That is one point. And one more thing I want you to understand is like, okay, so whenever we talk about a one service, I would go to the Google Cloud Platform and I will try to explain all the things about that service theoretically and practically, and I will implement a solution there itself. So what you have to do is like you take some time in the day, and you have to practice the same thing so that you will be able to understand, because practice gives you a lot of knowledge, guys. Understanding everything seems very simple. Okay, while I'm explaining, everything seems very simple, but after 2 days, 3 days, if you don't practice the thing, you wouldn't be able to understand the concept after 2 or 3 days. Okay, I want everyone to put at least spare 2 hours every day, 1 hour for the class, 1 hour for the practice session. Okay, so that is what you have to do, guys. And this course actually takes 40 to 45 hours, guys. More than 40 hours. Okay, more than 40 hours it will take. Okay, we will be having a daily Monday to Friday, 1 hour, 1 hour session. Okay, this is one more thing, and recordings will be shared to your emails. You will get a recording, guys. And one more thing is like what I actually forgot. Course duration, course content, daily 1 hour session. I think this is it, guys. Okay. Okay, this is one thing. And someone is asking me, if you guys have any questions, you can ask, guys. Floration, do speak, please.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that I am a VMware guy. Come from last 8 years, I'm working in VMware. So this platform is completely new to me. So is that a good decision to go for that this course?
Yeah, it will be really helpful for you guys for going to this course. It will really helpful for you. And because why I'm saying is like a data engineering is a foundational course. And one more thing, in our course, I will be starting from very basic to the advanced. I cover sometimes what is a data. I mean, because when we talk about a relational databases, I would talk about what is the data, what are the classification of the data, what is meant by structured, unstructured, semi-structured data. And one more thing is like what are the types of databases available, DBMS, RDBMS, and NoSQL databases. So from starting very basic to the advanced level where we will be able to automate the data pipelines. Automation, until the automation, we will be covering every aspect. So this course will be really helpful for you if you wanted to build your career in the data engineering. Data engineering is not simple, guys. One more thing I want you to understand, very trending technology, very trending. As data keeps on grows, data engineering will be a very trending and hot job for getting a lot of opportunities. First thing, because data keep on grows, data engineer will be in a trending job. Okay, and there will be a plenty of opportunities and highly paid job, guys. If you go and look at the highly paid jobs in the world, data engineering is one of the job which is a highly paid job. Okay, yeah. Someone is
Okay.
asking
So
for a duration. The course duration is 40 plus hours, and course fee you can able to contact the team so that they will be able to help you on the course fee, guys.
Okay. Yeah. So one more thing, sorry for interrupt. One more thing.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, the prerequisite that SQL and Python is needed. So, but I don't have that knowledge. That's the reason I'm getting.
So that is the reason. There are people here who does not know the SQL. There are few of my students who does not know the SQL and Python. But what I suggested them is like the only thing. Why my point of mentioning the concepts here is this one. You take a snap of this one. If you wanted to build your career in the data engineering, you take a snap of this page and look to go to the Google or YouTube or anywhere. There are plenty of resources for SQL and Python. Only focus on these concepts. I'm telling you, it wouldn't take 3 to 4 days. Okay, getting the basic knowledge on these concepts, that's the reason I have mentioned here the concept. There's no point of mentioning the concepts if you guys already know it. So there are few people who does not know the SQL, who does not know the Python, but still they wanted to enter into the data engineering world. So that is why I have mentioned here the SQL concepts and Python concepts. You take a snap of it and keep it with you. And we will be going to the deeper concepts. It takes 1 week or 1.5 weeks when we enter into the deeper concepts, main concepts. Meanwhile, for this next 5, 6, 7 or 1 week plus 10 days, you will be able to focus on these concepts and get a knowledge on it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
MySQL or MS SQL will be
Both are
using
same.
all are same.
Both are same. No worries. Yeah.
Okay.
So someone is asking me, I'm planning to make a move in the data engineering. I'm having a 10 years of experience in the Oracle database. How it's helpful for me? I'm telling you, if you are coming from a Oracle database, or if you are coming from a, same background like MySQL or a support engineer or whatever the data, if you are working in a data world already, this course will be really helpful for you. You can get a good opportunities. First thing, a lot of hike you can able to expect, guys. A lot of hike you can able to expect. Okay. Okay, so you can expect a good opportunities, and you, if you wanted to be in a trending job, this role really help you. You worked on my Oracle DB. It is kind of a very good job, but you wouldn't be able to get a high XR. You wouldn't be able to get a laptop opportunities if you wanted to try it out. But data engineering is a very trending job. After 10 years, you wanted to again switch a job. It is again very trending. So it will be there for next 10 to 15 years. Data engineering in a very good position, guys. But this is one thing. And what is the course fee and who can help us to let us know? So for the course fee, guys, you can actually go for, okay. Um, you can contact the IT team. Okay. So they will help you on this thing. Yeah. Any questions anyone having? Some people, okay, sorry guys, there are plenty of questions in the chat. I would try to explain one by one. Okay. And so is this course specially catering the data engineering with GCP and generic cloud computing with Google Cloud? Both. Okay, that is both, guys. Any project included in this course? Of course, guys. Don't worry about the project. Real time when I started my working, and still I am working in the projects. So those projects are I have created as a data engineering project here. Even with the triggering and cloud functions also I have created how actually the cloud functions will be used in the projects, how a BigQuery will be used in the projects. So those are real time things. You need not to worry about it. How long this course is helpful for you? Sorry, might have missed as you just joined. And this course will be a 40 to 45 hours, close to 2 months, guys. You can think of this course takes close to 2 months. We will use SDK, guys. I sometimes tell you how to install the SDK and all of those things. Yeah. Did you cover cloud computing engine? Yes, cloud computing engine. What is a cloud computing engine? What is a Kubernetes engine? What is the app engine? Basic concepts related to that we will be covering, guys, but not more than that. Yes, because it is a data engineering course. While attending the interviews for the GCP data engineer, the expert certification in GCP data engineering. Certification is mandatory for attending the no, guys. Okay, no. It is not mandatory, but if you have a data engineering certification, this will be really helpful for you. Okay, that actually gives a lot of, if there are 100 points, out of that 10 points or 15 points will be added to you by with help of the data engineering certification. But that's not directly get you the job, land you a job, but the concepts that we are going to cover, if you are having a good knowledge on all of these concepts, this will be really helpful for you to get a job. Yes. So one more thing I want you to understand, whenever I was talking about one concept, let us just say, okay, let's just say data lake. When we are talking about a data lake or a BigQuery, so for a data lake, I'll try to give you some assignments, guys. Okay. And whenever talking about a BigQuery, I will try to give you 2 to 3 data sets for your assignment. Okay. You have to, what you can do is like you spare your time and focus on the answering those questions. Okay, so that you will be able to, when you try to complete those assignments, you will get a lot of knowledge and creating a lot of knowledge and using that particular solution. Okay, that is one more thing. And the data engineering is not all about the development, it is also about architecture, guys. So you have to focus on, it's not that I should use the BigQuery in a very good way. It's not like that. You should understand that how the BigQuery is, how we can use the BigQuery for a very efficient manner, and how BigQuery helps in a GCP, and how it is different from the other cloud tools and other on-prem tools like Hive as well as Redshift and Synapse. So you have to understand that concept as well. So our aim of the course is to get a development skills as well as the architecture points, because architecture also very important for us to understand. Every data engineer should go to the data architecture and machine learning solutions. Okay, so this is what we have to understand. Any other questions anyone having? Okay, so you can expect this thing from our course, guys, both actual development plus architecting. So these are the two things that we can expect. And I have mentioned here the all the course details on the chart, guys. You can also go through it. Okay. So time of the timings, I actually forgot to mention the timings, guys. The timings are same timings, guys. 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Okay, same timings every day. Okay, so these are the timings. Yes. Yeah. Any questions anyone having?
Yeah, Saidhul, I have one question. So I'm
Yeah.
expecting just I have to create one sample web application. Then how I want to deploy that application in the cloud? Is it possible to cover in this session? I mean, in this course content or not?
Actually, for the deploying the pipelines and deploying the things that we are going to discuss, but application, because we are not an application developer, so that thing is not covered.
Okay, thank you.
But creating a data pipelines, deploying those data pipelines, because that is where we are focusing on as a data engineer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Someone is asking a batch time that I have mentioned here, guys. On premises to the cloud, yes. Data migration on premises to the cloud that we are covering. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Anyone? From tomorrow onwards, we will be having a initial classes, guys. Today is a demo class, right? So that's the reason. Yesterday's we had a workshop. Today we are having a demo class, first demo. So in the first demo, I'm telling all the things that we are going to cover in our session. Tomorrow, I am going to start with the Google Cloud Storage. So before that, I want you to understand how to create a free tier account. Okay. So I would tell you tomorrow itself. Okay. It wouldn't take more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay. Tomorrow I will tell you how to create an account. And this is an course content and everything, guys. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, if you have time, I will tell you how to create a free tier account today itself. Yeah. Okay, guys. So this is it for today. So hope I have given you a good understanding of what are the services that we are going to cover in our sessions, and hope you got some idea about a data engineering and a prerequisites, as well as what kind of things that we have to focus on before entering into the data engineering, and what kind of learnings that we can expect out of this course. Okay. Okay. So there will be a comparison, guys. So someone is asking AWS to the GCP. Whenever I am covering one service in the GCP, I would also tell you what kind of a service that is the same available in the AWS as well as Azure as well. So you will be able to have some knowledge on topic names of each and everything. But the only thing you have to understand, one thing is like, if you learn two cloud tool, that means you are learning all other cloud tools. The only thing is like you do not know the proper terminology. That's it. Okay, so if you are learning one tool, that means one cloud tool means you are learning other clouds as well. Okay, so don't think that if I learn what could be a thing, that if I go to the company, if they're asking me to work on AWS, it's the same thing. You need not worry about it. The technology is same. The only thing is like a platform is different. That's it. Okay, any GCP support job roles. So all these things, the development plus support plus big data developer plus admin plus, this course will be for all of the things, guys, because we are covering the IAM for the admins. We are covering the if you are wanted to go for a support, you need to know the services first. So you should know the development plus support. This course is for the development. If someone wanted to go for a data engineer, a developer, or a support developer, support engineer, or admin. So this course will be helpful for all of you guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Any questions? Okay, guys. Thank you all. Okay, it's so it's almost 8:30. So I'll be here for next 2 minutes. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up the session. Tomorrow, with a very fresh mind, with a very positively, we are going to start our sessions with the Google Cloud Storage. So come up with a very fresh brain, sir, so that you will be able to learn and explore a lot of things in the GCP. This is not just a topic that we are going to explore. We are going to enhance, what I would say, we are going to, acknowledge the development, how the Google Cloud platform has designed all of these tools, how these tools are going to helpful in our day-to-day activities. And one more thing is like these technologies are very good, and we will be able to work with any kind of data. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to learn a lot of new things. Okay, keep your brain open for learning all of these things. Come up with a very fresh brain so that we will be able to see a very new and trending technologies. Okay, guys. Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Will you be sharing today's recording?
Yes, you will get a mail for today's recording, guys. Don't worry on that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great day. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. So, yesterday we had discussed what is the course content and everything.
Recording in progress.
Right? From today onwards, we're going to discuss the very first topic, that is in a GCP, we have a GCP database landscape and big data landscape. So one by one, we are going to start with. So in a first half, I'm going to explain few concepts related to the databases, that is our Google Cloud Storage. And after that, we're going to start with at the second of our session, I will tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP, so that you'll be able to create a free tier account. After that, you'll be able to practice what are the sessions that we are having in. So let me start with the session today. So in the GCP database landscape, this is the agenda, guys. Okay, we are going to explain all the GCP databases landscape and the differences between the RDBMS as well as NoSQL databases. And in this one, we're going to look at the Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner, and Bigtable. Okay, so these are the things. So first, we're gonna see data lake modernization in the GCP. If you wanted to have a data lake in the GCP, how we can have it? So which tool can be acting as a data lake in the GCP? Let us see one by one, right? So yes, we already know what is a data lake, guys. A data lake is a centralized repository to store the data. Okay, a centralized repository to store or retrieve the data as per the business requirement, right? So what kind of a data we can store, guys? You can see here. We can store structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data. We can store either if it is a batch data or streaming data. It should be able to withstand for SQL, ML, and searching. We can able to store on-prem data, cloud data, and data. So it is a scalable and secured platform to store the data, retrieve the data for further analysis or processing purpose. So this is what is a data lake, right? We have seen what is a data lake. Let me try to tell you what is a data lake from my notes. This is my notes, guys. Where is that? Yeah. So this is what it is, a data lake. I hope you guys can see my screen clearly. Okay. So usually you get a data from a multiple data sources. So in a data lake, the data lake should be withstand to store any amount of data that is coming from a multiple data sources, and it should not restrict any data format. It should allow any data format to be stored, any amount of data to be stored, and it should be scalable platform and also secured platform. Okay, so that is what is a data lake. A data lake is a centralized repository to store or retrieve the data. And what kind of data we can store, guys? Any kind of data we can store here. Okay, and do we have any restriction on the number of files that we can store here? No, there is no restriction on the number of files that we can store in the data lake. Okay, and it is a scalable and secured platform, right? So this is what is the definition of a data lake. Now let us see data lakes using a GCS. In a Google Cloud platform, we have Google Cloud Storage is acting as a data lake. What is that? Let us see now. Okay, so this is Google Cloud Storage is as a data lake in the GCP. So what is a Google Cloud Storage, guys? So let me go to the paint and try to explain you guys one by one. So from today, from the very first topic that we are going to see is Google Cloud Storage. What is a Google Cloud Storage? Let us see first. Okay, so Google Cloud Storage is one of the fully managed services in the GCP. What is this one, sir? One of the fully managed services in the GCP. What do you mean by that, sir? What is mean by fully managed service? Sir, I want you to understand what is mean by fully managed. For very first thing, I will try to tell you. Sir, if you go to any cloud platform, okay, if you go to any cloud platform, the services in the cloud platform are categorized into two things. One is managed instance, okay, not managed, virtual machine. Second one is managed instance, and third one is serverless. Okay, sir, VM based. People call it as a VM based. Okay, these are the three categories. If you go to any cloud platform, the services in the cloud platform are categorized into three. One is VM based services. One more is managed services or fully managed services, and third one is serverless. What do you mean by that, sir? In a VM based services, okay, for example, look at your laptop. In your laptop, if you wanted to work with any of the Python coding, or if you wanted to develop one application, what do, sir? You manually download one software like Python application, and you will provide some resources to that, and you will try to install that, and after that you go for the application development. What do, sir? Whatever the requirements, whatever the resources, whatever the infrastructure required for your entire application development, you as a person taking care of it, taking considering from the laptop itself. So you need a laptop. That laptop needs to have some kind of resources, and that laptop will have its own configuration. And on top of that, you will again download an application and install on top of your laptop, and again you try to develop an application. Likewise, in a VM based, an entire virtual machine will be given to you, so that an entire virtual machine will be given to you. 1 minute, guys. Sorry, I'm getting a call. 1 minute. Sorry guys, I back now. So there are three categories in the cloud platforms. One is VM based, managed, and serverless. But before this one, if you wanted to understand, there is a one more category which is not a cloud platform. That is non-cloud platform. That is, we call it as an on-premises, right? So we have a one more thing is also there, that is on-premises. It is not a cloud. In on-premises, if you wanted to work with any of the application development, you have to manage your physical infrastructure. Okay. Physical infrastructure you have to manage. Again, if you need to have a separate environment, you have to manage your virtual machine. Manage the virtual machines. Manage the VM. And again, if you wanted to work with an application, you have to manage your application. Okay, because you have to download, install, all of those things. Again, you are the person need to develop the solution. Okay, so in a typical architecture, this is the things happening is in any company. If someone wanted to work with the any application development, first thing there will be a resources part. One is infrastructure. So as a person, we have to take care of the physical infrastructure. Again, if we have to have a development environment separated for each application, we need to go for a virtual machines. And again, we have to manage the application configuration. And finally, we can develop the solution on top of the service. So this is what it is. So in an on-premises, you as a person have to manage all of these things, guys. Okay, in a on-premises, we have to manage all of these things. Okay, but if you go to the cloud platform, what is the main advantage? Let us see one by one. Okay, very important thing, guys. No one will tell this point, but you have to understand, because somewhere you are seeing a VM based services, somewhere you are using a managed services, somewhere you are using a fully managed serverless platforms. So now you will be able to understand the concept of this one. Okay, in a VM based, you need not to manage the physical infrastructure, because the physical infrastructure will be provided to you in the form of a virtual machine to you. In the cloud platform, you need not to manage the physical infrastructure, but you have to manage your configuration for the virtual machine. You have to manage your application platform as well as development. Okay, in a VM based services are hosted. People also call it as a hosted, guys. VM based are hosted services. In this one, you need not to manage the infrastructure here, because infrastructure will be provided to you in the form of a virtual machine. And after that, managing the virtual machine, managing the application, and developing a solution is on you. Okay. But who will be taking care of the physical architecture? The cloud platform will be taking care of it. And if you go to the second category, that is managed services, the physical infrastructure will be taken care by the cloud platform, and managing the virtual machines also taken care by the virtual platform, and only the application and development will be taken care by you. Managing the application, managing the developing a solution will be based on you. Okay, you have to manage it, you have to take care of it. Okay, and if you go to the serverless platforms, the name itself it is saying, you need not to worry about a physical infrastructure, you need not to worry about a virtual machines, you need not to worry about a platform. Managing application, nothing but managing the platform, guys. Okay, you need not to worry about a platform, you can directly go for the development. Okay, this is what the cloud platforms are doing a best thing for us. Okay, because they are taking care of a lot of burden from us. If you go to the virtual machine based, an entire virtual machine will be provided to you. When they have given a virtual machine to you, all the configuration will be given to you, guys. If you need this much of, if you need 500 GB, 1 TB, 10 TB, 100 TB of storage, networking properties, as well as a RAM, if you need to have a lot of CPU, you can select it. Okay, so a highly robust virtual machine, you can select it. If you go to your laptop is a small machine which will be having only small configuration. But if you wanted to have a very heavy machine with a large properties, you can select it. Okay, that properties will be that management of the virtual physical infrastructure will be taken care by the cloud platform. How, sir? We already seeing some data centers, right? Google have its Google data center, Amazon having its Amazon, and that's where they are managing the physical infrastructure and managing the virtual machine, managing the application, and developing an application will be on you when you go to the VM based services. If you go to the managed services, physical infrastructure as well as managing the virtual machine will be taken care by them. Only the application development, application and its development will be upon you. Okay. And if you go to the serverless, only the development part you are talking about. Because we will see in our upcoming classes what is the fully managed, what is the serverless. So if you go to the VM managed, you can look at the compute engines. Okay, compute engines are there. Kubernetes engines are there. GCA, GKE. So these are all comes under VM based services. Guys. If you look at the managed services, we are every day looking at managed or fully managed. You can see that. So managed services are like managed services, Dataproc you can think of. Very good example, Dataproc. Managed services. And for the serverless, BigQuery is the best example. Dataflow is a one more example. So you need to categorize the services in such a way that it will be very helpful for you to understand it. Because in a company, if a client asks you whether what kind of because we are looking for a serverless platform, you should be in a position to understand what is the serverless platform. If they are looking for a semi-serverless platform or a managed services, you should be in a position because serverless platforms provide you a lot of benefit when you are when you talk about a cost. Okay, when you talk about a managed services, the cost will be okay, and you have to manage some amount of things like managing the application. So there is some burden on you managing the application. So you have to take care. Your team has to take care about managing the application. But when you go to the serverless, your team need not to worry about application management because you can directly go for the development. All other things like physical infrastructure, managing the virtual machine, managing the application will be taken care by the cloud platform itself. If I talk about a GCP, the same thing. Okay, we have a cloud platform. When I say a cloud platform, we have a GCP is there, we have AWS is there, we have Azure is there. It is common for all of these things, sir. It is not only this concept is similar, this concept is same for all of it. Is in general concept. Okay, now you got it. What is a VM based, what is a managed, what is a serverless. Now, if I go to Google Cloud Storage, it is managed or fully managed. Fully managed is also called as a serverless, sir, sometimes. Okay. If you go to the Google Cloud Storage is a fully managed service. Okay, what is that, sir? It is a fully managed service. What does that mean? It is all the infrastructure required for the, okay, all the, you can also say it is actually a managed service or fully managed. Actually, I can't. This one. Okay, so a managed service. When I say a managed service, all the infrastructure, physical infrastructure, as well as the virtual machines will be taken care by the GCP. Okay, what are the rest, guys? You have to create your own application. Okay, when I say application, how the Google Cloud Store, how the Google Cloud Storage operates, you have to understand. Then only you will be able to understand the what is meant by fully managed service. Because I know that Google Cloud Storage is operates with help of the bucket and files. You have to, when I say a fully managed service, all the physical infrastructure and virtual machine will be taken care by the GCP, and bucket configuration you have to provide. What is meant by that? You have to provide the bucket configuration. When you provide the bucket configuration, a bucket will be created for you. Okay, and after that you can upload files, you can go for the development. When I say development for the GCP is creating a file or uploading a file, uploading a lot of files, creating many buckets, so like that. Okay, what is meant by fully managed? All the resources as well as infrastructure will be taken care by the GCP itself. So for that point, I have explained all the things, guys, because this terminology will come all the time. So that's the reason I have told, I have explained here. Now, sir, it is now I understand that it is a fully managed services. So the infrastructure will be taken care by the GCP. That is fine. So now tell me what kind of a service that the Google Cloud Storage is. What is the main intention of having a Google Cloud Storage in the GCP? So if you ask me, it is a service for storing and retrieving the data. Okay, so what kind of a service it is, sir? If you ask me, it is a service for storing and retrieving the data. Sir, what kind of a data I can store here? Sir, what format data I can store here? Sir, how many files I can store here? Okay, sir, how much amount of data I can store here? Okay, so sir, it is a fully managed service. It is a service I would say. It is instead of that a service for storing and retrieving the data. So when I say talking about storing and retrieving the data, how much data I can store, any amount of data, any number of files, any format data, any kind of a data, we can able to store in the GCS, guys. Okay. So this is what is the main intention. What is the purpose of a Google Cloud Storage? If you ask me, it is a storage and retrieving tool. You can store any amount of data, any number of files, and if you wanted and need to have if you wanted to have the data to be retrieved at some point of time, you can also retrieve this data. Okay. So this is what it is. And one more thing. So how the Google Cloud Storage operates? Okay, sir, it is a fully managed, that is fine, and the purpose of the service is also fine, but how it operates? Okay, how it operates? Sir, it operates via bucket and files. Okay, it operates via bucket and files. Sir, some people does not know what is a bucket. I want you to understand this terminology now. Okay. Sir, what is a bucket? Sir, a bucket is a container. The terminology is this one, sir. Bucket is nothing but a container. Or if you does not know what is a container, also you can think of your folder. Okay, a container is not a bucket is nothing but a container, and terminology for the object is nothing but a file of any format. Okay, so this is what is the terminology, sir. Now you will understand. So in a Google Cloud Storage, we are storing something and we are retrieving the something. So how the Google Cloud Storage operates? Sir, in a Google Cloud Storage, it operates via bucket and objects. I should mention here objects, not files, because the terminology is an object. Okay, it operates via bucket and objects. Okay, what is a bucket? A container or a folder. What is an object? A file of any format. So what does that mean, sir? If it is operating via bucket and object, do I have to create a bucket to store the objects? Yes. So you have to create, we have to create to store the objects. Okay, we have to create a bucket. We have to create a bucket. So any number of buckets you can create it, any number of files you can upload it to one bucket. So this is what is it. This is how the Google Cloud Storage operates, guys. Okay, how the Google Cloud Storage operates, sir? A Google Cloud Storage operates via bucket and objects. So in the terminology, what is a bucket, sir? A bucket is nothing but a container, and an object is a file of any format. and we have to create. If I wanted to store some data, what I have to do, sir? If I wanted to store some data inside a Google Cloud Storage, what I have to do? I have to go to the Google Cloud Storage and try to create a bucket, and inside that I can upload the objects. What do you mean by objects, sir? It is nothing but a data, nothing but a file, right? So this is what is, it is how operates. Sir, so far everything seems good. The fourth point I want you to understand that it allows, Google Cloud Storage allows worldwide storage and retrieval. Okay, that means, what does that mean, sir? I do not know. One more basic concept it is coming, sir. You have to understand, there is a concept of region, multi-region, multi-region, and one more thing is a region, multi-region, dual region. Okay, so this is what, if it is allowing a worldwide storage and retrieval, what does that mean, sir? At any location you can able to store the data, at any, from any other location you will be able to retrieve the data, but you have to select a proper region and multi-region and dual region. According to that, if you wanted to store and retrieve the data within the region, you can go for the within the region option. And if you go to the multi-region, the data will be retrieved across all the regions. And dual region means within two regions. Okay, we will see this difference. Okay, this is actually takes some time, so we will see this difference tomorrow. Okay, what is the main intention of having a regional service, regional storage and multi-regional storage and dual region storage? Because there is a difference between them, and there is an advantage also there, and there is a cost in terms of a cost also. You can look at it, guys. If I go to the region, the cost will be little lesser. When I say dual region, the cost will be little higher. If I go to a multi-region, the cost will be little more higher. And we will see that tomorrow, the main difference, why it is. So that is one thing that we will see tomorrow, guys. The fifth point is, as I told you, scalable and secured platform. What does that service, sir? It is a one more final point, sir. It is a scalable and secured platform. So we will see what is meant by secured platform. And I just want you to give you an overall heads up to the Google Cloud Storage. Now you got it. What is a Google Cloud Storage? The only thing you have to understand today is that what is a Google Cloud Storage, and what is the main purpose of having it, who will be taking care of the resources here, and how it operates, how the Google Cloud Storage operates, and what kind of a tool it is, whether it is a storage, worldwide storage or a retrieval service, and whether can we go for a secured, whether it is a secured platform and scalable platform or not. This is the only point you have to understand, guys. Tomorrow we will see how to create a bucket. Inside that, all these things, like when I say secured platform, right? So we can able to say access control, and very basic concepts we are going to see tomorrow. Object versioning. What is mean by all of this terminology? We will see retention policy. Okay. Okay. And one more thing is also there, storage classes. Okay, we can also go for the storage classes. While you are creating a bucket, there is also a storage classes. So tomorrow we will see all of these things, sir. Whenever you wanted to create a bucket, so you can select a proper bucket name and a location where you wanted to. So when you wanted to create a bucket, you have to give a proper name to the bucket. Okay, you have to give a proper name to the bucket, and you have to select the location of the bucket, and you have to select the proper storage class for the bucket, and we have to select the access control, and we have to select the object versioning and retention policy. retention policy. Okay, tomorrow we will see in while we are creating a bucket, all of these concepts we will see because these are the practical concepts. Okay, so what are these? How we have to give a proper name to the bucket, because it is not directly, sir, I can give any name. Okay, it is not like that. It has to be a globally unique name. How to select a location? When I say select a location, we know that we have a region option is there, we have a dual region option is there, we have a multi-region option is also there. And storage classes, there are 4 storage classes like standard, nearline, cold and archive. Access control also we have 2 options. Access control at rate bucket level, access control at rate object level is also there. So we have to see all of these things while we are creating a bucket. Okay, today hope you got some idea about a Google Cloud Storage as well as the different varieties of the services in the cloud platforms. Okay, yeah, any questions so far on the Google Cloud platform, guys?
If we created a storage in a region type, after that we can change to multi-region or dual region after uploading the files in region.
No, that's what. So there are few properties that you can change it. There are few properties once the bucket is created, you cannot change it. Okay. So that is, I have actually properly documented that. Tomorrow, I think we will see. Okay. What is a bucket and how to create a bucket. So bucket configuration. See, when you look at the bucket configuration here the location, you see for the location, this is we have selected a US West one and it is not editable. Okay, so when you create a bucket, you cannot, once you have selected a proper location to that bucket, you cannot later edit it. If you wanted to edit it, you just have to delete your entire bucket and you have to create your bucket with that particular location. Okay, that location is a region, multi-region, dual region as per your question, right? But there are few things, as you selected a storage class standard as well as access control fine grained, so labels if you wanted to add. So these are the editable properties. Okay, so this is a metadata of the bucket. There will be a metadata for the object will also be there, guys. There are 2 things: metadata about object, metadata about bucket. So in a metadata about bucket, you will be able to understand which properties can be changeable even after the bucket is created, and which properties cannot be able to change later after the creation of the bucket. Okay, so as we talking about, once a location is selected, location type region is selected, you cannot change it later. Hope I have answered your question.
Yeah.
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
So in terms of, suppose we create a bucket and we have it in one region, and suppose we don't want to delete that bucket, we just want to replicate that bucket and keep a duplicate of that, and with added functionality in terms of adding location as well. So can we do that?
Yes. So this is it's a one scenario that what you wanted to do is like you have 2 buckets, right? It's 2 buckets, right? It's not only 1 bucket, right? So as I told you, because I'll tell you why I said 2 buckets, because when you wanted to create a bucket, the name of the bucket is globally unique name. Okay, you cannot give a same name to the 2 buckets. First thing. Okay, so when you give it 2 names, that means if they are two buckets, right? So what do you wanted to do is like whenever I upload one file to 1 bucket, you wanted to have that same file in 1 more bucket also, because you wanted to copy the data. So that kind of scenarios that we can see in our upcoming topics, because I have such kind of scenarios we can easily have with help of the cloud functions. I will create a one cloud function code. That cloud function code will be doing is like it is a serverless platform. In the backend, what it will do, it will try to copy whatever the data that you are uploading to the 1 bucket, and it will copy it to the 1 more bucket, so that whenever you do that activity, it will be backend, it will be doing this activity as well, so that there is a copy of your data. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, this can be done. Yes, we will be having such kind of scenarios, plenty of practical scenarios, We are seeing, and I want you to, if you are coming across such kind of a scenarios in your company also, you tell me, we will implement that solution. Okay, so that we will do, guys. Okay, I just don't want you to tell you a course and stop it here. I just want you to, if you guys have such kind of a scenario, sir, I am facing this kind of a problem, so can we implement such kind of a solution, or can we at least see an architecture for this solution? So that kind of scenarios we will see if you are coming across. So please let me know, that's not a problem. And someone is asking a question, can you teach how to create a bucket via SDK? Sir, yes, we will create a bucket with the help of the Cloud Shell. Yes, of course. So I will tell you how to create a bucket two ways, sir. You can also see here. So because each and every, I want you to understand this point. I think I might not have told you this point. So let me tell you this point. Where is this? Yeah. So, sir, very important thing. I will write it here. There are two ways. There are more ways, but mainly two ways for me. Two ways to interact with GCP services. There are actually two ways for me. Okay, I don't know how people say, but for me, in my classes, I will tell there are two ways if you wanted to interact with the GCP services. One is UI, one more is code. Okay, one UI is nothing but a control. Code is nothing but a Cloud Shell or Cloud SDK. Okay, or SDK, Cloud SDK. Okay, this is what. In UI, we know that how we are interacting with the help of the user interface, nothing but a drag and drop, clicking something. That is what is a UI. If you wanted to interact with the services, if you wanted to use any service in the GCP, you can go with this way. Okay, this is a manual process. Sir, I wanted to create a bucket, or I wanted to delete something, or I wanted to interact with the Google Cloud Storage. You can also interact from the code, that is Cloud Shell or Cloud SDK, from anywhere. So these things also we will be seeing, guys. It is not that we are also looking, because I wanted to understand the concepts via UI, but tomorrow I wanted to automate it with the help of the code, because we are not just stopping here, because there are professionals who are automating the processes. Automating can only be done with help of the code. So there are two ways to interact with the GCP services. Keep this in mind, sir. Whenever you are getting any doubt, anything can be done with help of the UI, anything can be done with the help of the code. Okay, creating a bucket. Tomorrow, if I wanted to create a bucket, yeah, sorry.
Through code, we can use REST API also.
Yeah, through REST APIs also we can use it, but most of the people using these things. So even I am covering these two only. That is the reason I have mentioned REST API is also there, and there is also one more thing is also there, mobile application also. But most of the times we will be using this thing only. Even in the companies also, people use UI as well as Cloud SDK or Cloud Shell. Yeah. Okay. And one more question: any Terraform Ansible tools required for automation? Sir, no. Any Terraform and Ansible tools required for automation? No, sir. Our main intention is to have a data to be created and automated with the help of the pipeline. So that is what we are going to do. That is SQL plus Python is enough for this course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In real time, we will be creating the bucket, or admin team, they will create the bucket and hand over to us.
No. So there are two ways. So if you go to, there are two, it depends upon your company, guys. If you go to the MNC companies, you will be having a dedicated team for the admin. So they will be doing the admin activities. Admin, I would not say admin. So there are two, admin, or you can also DevOps. Okay. They will be taking care of the resources, infra related things, they are taking care of it. Okay. But if you go to the tier 2 companies, tier 3 companies, what they do is like something like startups or some low base, I mean, not product, some basic product based companies are, you know, if you go to small scale companies, what small scale? Okay. What they do is like they will provide an entire, because it is a small startup company, and you have to do everything on your own. In that case, you will be getting a chance to work on the UI. You will be getting a chance to creating a bucket, anything. You yourself have to work with the admin activities as well. That means IAM, all of those things, and permissions, roles. You yourself have to create a bucket. But when you are going to the MNC companies, most of the times they will not providing you access to do that. But there is an environment called sandbox. In that sandbox, you can do anything. But if you look at the prod environment, they will not provide you no access at all. Okay, if you wanted to practice anything, you can go and do it in the sandbox. But in the startup, you will be providing an access to all of the things. You can able to work with that. So this is what it is. Okay, yeah. You will team BigQuery with loading files with the real-time scenarios. Yes, guys, I will teach. It's not team, right? You will teach. Yes. So you will teach BigQuery with the loading files with the real-time scenarios. Don't worry about that. We will be having a plenty of such scenarios. Data proc, data flow, everywhere we are using the BigQuery. And I will take some CSV files. I'll upload it to the. I'll upload them as a. I will upload it to, sorry, I will create a tables on top of those CSV files. And one more thing also, what we will do is like, we will automate that process. Okay, as I told you, I don't want it to manually do it tomorrow. Okay, if a file CSV file available in the GCS bucket, what I wanted to do, sir, automatically it has to create a table inside the BigQuery. Okay, that automatic scenarios we will see. Don't worry about that, sir. Plenty of automations, plenty of scenarios, topics, real-time things we are going to see in our thing, guys. Don't worry about that. Yeah, just to focus on the knowledge, you will be able to get a lot of you know, real-time scenarios from me. The only thing is like, please be attentive during the class. Yeah, yeah. Now, so this is enough for today. What I will do is like, I will try to tell you how to create an account. So we will see tomorrow rest of the concepts. Okay. Now let us see how to create a bucket. Sorry. It's already 8:20, guys. Okay. So let me, can we see it tomorrow or shall we see it today itself? Sir, I would tell you, some people are asking for the, yeah, some people are asking for the slides and some people are asking. So slides I may not be sharing with you, but what I will do is like, I will share you the material. Okay, what is that material? It is a very robust, and you see the material for the Google Cloud Storage tomorrow. Today we have seen, right? What is the Google Cloud Storage? This is access to my notes I will give you, sir. What is a GCS? How to create a bucket, all the concepts, high level concepts, and note. Oh, here I have mentioned, sir, whenever you use any service in the Google Cloud platform. Okay, this is one more thing, two costs associated. One is storage cost, retrieval cost. Tomorrow we will see this point. Okay, so this notes I will provide it to you guys. Okay, I will provide access to the my notebook. This is my OneNote notebook. We will be having all of these things here only. So I will provide access to that. And so that for that one, I want everyone to complete your registrations. Then only there will be a group created. There I will provide the link for that so that you will be able to access it. And access also not provided to all, guys, only for those who have registered. And if I got an email from the team, I will provide access to that particular email. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So please complete your registration tomorrow. So please remember, make me remember, sir. Tomorrow, first thing we will create a bucket. We will create an account. Okay. Later only we will see the rest of the things. Yeah. Because it's already 8:20. Even I am having some other tasks. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Hope you learned something today. So I want you to learn everything, almost everything, every day, whatever we are speaking. If you are unable to understand, please try to ask me. So that wouldn't be a problem. You can raise a question. You can raise anything. If you wanted to see a real-time things also, you can do. Okay. Complete your registration to get the notes, guys. Okay. Thank you all. Hope you learned something today. Thank you all. Hello guys, very good morning everyone. Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to the session today. So let us start the session. If you remember, yesterday we had discussed about the introduction of the Google Cloud Storage, right? What is a Google Cloud Storage, guys? Google Cloud Storage is one of the fully managed service. What does that mean? One of the fully managed means fully managed is nothing but all the resources required for the managing the files as well as storing the files and retrieving will be taken care by the GCP itself. We need not to worry about that thing. The only thing we have to worry about is like how to create a bucket and how to upload a file, and after that how to make sure the data is controlled, and need not to worry about the resources required to build this GCS. And one more thing we have to worry about, what are the storage classes we need to take care of it, and the location as well as object version. And what kind of a tool it is, guys, if you ask me, a Google Cloud Storage is a service for storing your any type of a data, any kind of a data, any number of files we can store here. And how the Google Cloud Storage operates? Google Cloud Storage operates via bucket, okay, and objects. What is a bucket, guys? A bucket is nothing but a container to store your objects. And what is your file object, guys? Object is nothing but a file. Okay, it allows worldwide storage and retrieval. It is a scalable and secured platform. So this is all about a introduction to the Google Cloud Storage. Now the question is how to create a bucket. Sir, as I told you, if I wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, there are two ways. One is via console, one more is via command line tool. Okay, so let me open. Okay, so if I wanted to work with a interactive, to interact with GCP, how many ways we can interact with the GCP? Guys, there are plenty of ways. There are REST APIs, there are many things, but mainly as a developer, as a data engineer, we are going to work with, we are going to focus on two things. Okay, that is, one is user interface, that is what we call as a console. One more is command line tool, that is your shell or SDK. Okay, so this is these are the two ways that we can work with. Now the question is how to create a bucket from the console. That is one thing, and also how to create a bucket from the command line tool. So these are the two things that we will see, guys. Okay, so now let us see. Let me go to the console and tell you how to create a bucket and how to interact with the, and while creating a bucket, what are the things that we have to take care, one by one we will see. And likewise, how to create a bucket from the command line tool. That means with the help of the commands, with the help of the Linux commands, how to create a bucket also we will see. Okay, all of these things one by one we will see. Okay, for that one, let me go to my let me go to console. Okay, login in. I am logging into my console, guys. Google Cloud. Okay, so let me first give you an introduction to the Google Cloud platform here, the interface. So when you logged into your Google Cloud, so this is how the interface looks like. Okay, in the interface top left, you will be able to see all the services. This is your navigation menu where you will be able to see all the list of services or the products available in the Google Cloud. Okay, so this is one thing. And one more thing, once you have here, so everything is worked by project, guys. Okay, this is something that we are going to start maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow about what is a project and how to interact with all of these things. We will see tomorrow, guys. But for now, just understand that. So when you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, okay, when you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, we have to enter, we have to select a proper project. Either we have to select a existing project or we can create a new project. Okay, how to create a new project, guys? Click on this new project. You will provide your project ID, project number, that's it. Okay, new project will be created. So each and every product in the GCP will be can be tracked from the project only, and billing also enabled from the project only. If you don't select a proper project, the project you cannot be able to work with any of the resources. And one more thing, you have to enable the billing only, otherwise you can able to need not to, unable to work with the GCP services. And while you are working with any of the service, there will be a API. You have to enable the API. All these things are linked to a project only, because all the tracking of the billing will be done from the projects. Okay, so this is one thing, guys. Okay, now once you have here, sir, if you wanted to work with any of the service in the GCP, either you can go to the left navigation menu, select that service. Like if you are working with the Google Cloud Storage, you can select here. No, you wanted to directly select it, you can directly set that particular service. You can also select from here. Okay, Google Cloud Storage. And after that, sir, there is a free trial status, how much amount of money that is left in your free trial status and how many days it is, you can able to see from here. Okay, and here this is where you can able to activate your Cloud Shell, sir. If we wanted to work with the Cloud Shell, nothing but a command line tool, where this is where the place you have to go and click on activate the Cloud Shell. When you click on activate the Cloud Shell, one more at the bottom you will be able to see a command line tool will be opened for us. It takes like almost 30 seconds. For the first time it can take 30 to 40 seconds. You see here a Cloud Shell terminal will be opened for us. Okay, so this is a we will see what is actually a Cloud Shell and what kind of a tool it is and how to an introduction to the Cloud Shell also I will tell you guys. But now let us not worry about that. And after that, this is where you will be able to see all the notifications when you create a bucket, when you delete a bucket, when you move something, you will be able to see here. And the settings, if you wanted to go to the project settings, you can go from here. And all the if you wanted to add one more account, a sign out account, and you wanted to look at your account details, so from here you will be able to do it. So this is all about the interface of the Google Cloud, guys. In a Google Cloud, you will be able to have a navigation menu for selecting the each and every service, or go to the search box for selecting a proper service. And one more thing is like you can select a proper project here. Either you can select an existing project or create a new project. And here you can go to the project settings as well from here. Okay. And one more thing is like activate Cloud Shell. So you can able to see the Cloud Shell was activated. You will be able to see. So whenever you are working from the console, also the very first thing is like you select a project, right? Likewise, whenever you work from a Cloud Shell, also you select a proper project. Okay, so this project by default the this project is selected. How I know every project is tracked with the help of their project ID, guys. So this is your project ID, arboreal avatar, right? Here you see arboreal avatar. So this is your project ID. And if you wanted to select one more project from the Cloud Shell, so the thing here is like you have to mention this one, Google Cloud config set project, and that project ID you have to mention, so that you will be able to enter one more project. And here from the console you wanted to go to a one more project, you directly click on that one. So like how you are clicking on this one, you click on one more project, that project will be selected. So if you are working in that project, that means all the building will be enabled to that particular project only. Okay. So this is what is all about the introduction to the GCP console as well as Cloud Shell, guys. And I want you to understand what is a Cloud Shell also now. Okay, I think, do I have somewhere the Cloud Shell information? No. No. Yeah, here it is. Yes. Okay. So what is a cloud? As I told you guys, if anyone wanted to interact with the GCP services, there are two ways. Okay. The very first thing is web user interface. Then the very next thing is command line tool that either Cloud Shell terminal or an editor. Cloud Shell terminal or SDK. So these are the two ways that we can work with. And one more thing, what is a Cloud Shell? Because we know that console is a web interface. We know how the web interface works. But what does this Cloud Shell serve? A Cloud Shell is a very small Linux operating system, guys. It is a command line tool. It has a 5 GB storage. Storage size is 5 GB, and it has a language support to SQL, Python, Go, Java, all of these things. If we wanted to work with the shell, we first activate it. After that, we select a proper project and use shell commands and Linux commands to interact with the each and every services. Okay, so this is what is a Cloud Shell, guys. You should not you should understand that the Cloud Shell is a very small machine. When I say a very small machine, it does have a Linux operating system, and it is having only 5 GB persistent disk storage, and it has a language support to SQL, Python, Go, Java. Okay, so whenever you wanted to interact with any of the service from the Cloud Shell, you provide a proper command from the Cloud Shell to interact with that particular service. That commands will be available. I will tell you how to do that because I have listed here. Okay, one by one we will see. We need not to, hurry. We are not in a hurry, guys. So what we will do? So whenever I interact with any of the services, there are two ways I will tell you. For example, today I am working about a Google Cloud Storage. I will tell how to create a bucket from the console. I will also tell you how to interact with the Cloud Shell, how to interact with the Google Cloud Storage from the Cloud Shell also. Okay, two ways we will see. Now we understood that the interface, there are two ways that we can interact. One is console and via Cloud Shell. Now we will go to the Google Cloud Storage and try to create a bucket in the console.
Hello.
Yep.
I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
So, what is the difference between this Cloud Shell, which are working with the Linux operating system, you told, no?
Yes.
So what is the difference between this Cloud Shell and the SSH? During the computer engine we are creating now, so there we are getting into the SSH. The same screen is getting what different thing is there?
Where will be able to interact with each and every service in GCP. And one more, this SSH terminal is only for that particular virtual machine, right? So you cannot interact with all the GCP services. If you want to interact with that particular virtual machine, what you provide some commands, you wanted to upload some file, you wanted to delete some file, you wanted to see some information, you wanted to access some information, you wanted to provide some permission. So all of those things are related to that particular virtual machine. Okay, there also you will be using a Linux commands, and those commands are also similar. But the thing is, like, it is only specific to that virtual machine. But here, Cloud Shell is a overall service or in general service or a primitive service where you can able to interact with each and every service in the GCP. All the resources, all the permissions, everything can be done from the Cloud Shell as well. So that is the main difference, guys. Okay.
Okay, sir. Then what is the purpose of SSH, sir? We can directly interact with what are the comments we are giving in SSH? The same
No.
command we can
So you have to understand that one more thing is like if I wanted to interact, because see a virtual machine, as I told you, you have to understand this thing as well. A cloud shell is a small machine. When I mention a small machine, it have only the 5 GB persistent disk storage. And when you go to the virtual machine will be having a lot of storage. Sir, I wanted to move a file from a file of 10 GB to a virtual machine. That I can do, but I cannot load it to the Google Cloud Shell, right? Because it has only 5 GB. When I say 5 GB, you can only store until 4.5 GB of storage only. So it's not possible. But when I say virtual machine, you can able to store any amount of data as per your storage requirements. If you have given a configuration of storage like 500 GB, you can store 500 GB also. You can store 1 TB also. According to your requirement, you create a virtual machine. But it is not. It is just a small machine to interact with this and that. But it is not for running a heavy things. Okay, even you go for a heavy complex things, it will not. It will struck because it's a very small machine. But SSH terminal is a very. It's like your shell commands. Okay, you for example, you have a laptop, right? When you go to a laptop, you have a command line tool, right? That's like your SSH terminal. Okay, that means when you wanted to work with your laptop, you have a user interface that you go do this and that. But in the command line tool, you have a command CMD. When you enter a command called CMD in your search button, you will be able to open that command line tool. You can also work with from the command line tool from any of the services. Okay, when you wanted to work with any of the services in your local laptop, so if you wanted to work with this thing, that thing, you can able to work with. So that is like your SSH terminal. Okay, a full machine and its own everything will be controlled by SSH. Not only the SSH. If you open, for example, if your virtual machine is a Windows operating system, then you can again do with a user interface also. Okay, but if you have selected a Ubuntu or Debian, so then you can able to only work with the commands only in that case. So that is what that command line tool is, nothing but a SSH terminal. Yeah.
Well, okay. Whether that G Cloud and GS Util, both commands will work in SSH.
Of course, yes, it will work. G Cloud commands will work, yes. But you have to import it before that. Okay, because SSH terminal is specific to that virtual machine, but it does not understand the Google Cloud. Even though I am working in a Google Cloud, it does not understand. So what you do, you import all the modules. Okay, when you import all the modules, it will work.
All the module things.
So we will see in our upcoming classes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, Google Cloud Storage we are seeing, right? So how to create a bucket and how to interact with the how to create a bucket, how to create a folder, and how to upload a file inside this Google Cloud Storage one by one we will see now. Okay. So for example, when you are inside a Google Cloud Storage, this is how the interface looks like. If you wanted to create a bucket, click on create bucket. Keep yourself muted, guys. Okay, when you click on a create bucket, so as I told you, there are few things that we have to remember while creating a bucket. Okay, first thing, while providing a name of your bucket, we have to pick a proper globally unique name. When I say globally unique name, no one has used so far this particular name as a Google Cloud Storage bucket. Okay, so some disturbance, 1 minute. Yeah. So, when I say globally unique name, so far no one has used this name as a Google Cloud Storage bucket. No one, when I say it's not me, it's not you, it's everyone. Whoever so far worked on the Google Cloud Storage, for example, I did not create a bucket with the name of the bucket called a bucket. Okay. But someone might have used it. Okay. So this bucket name is already taken. bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3, something like that. If you give a normal name, it might have created by someone might have used this kind of a bucket name already. So you cannot be able to create it. So it should be a properly unique name so that you can able to give that to your bucket. So for now, I am going to give storage underscore bucket underscore resources. Okay, so this is the bucket. I have given a proper bucket name, which will not, I believe that which will not be used by anyone so far. Even though still this is the 10102 I will give. Okay, so this name no one has used so far. It is a globally unique name. Now after that, once you have given a proper name to the bucket, click on continue. And this is where we have to worry about a location. So I want you to understand about a location, sir. While you are creating a bucket, the very important thing you have to remember is one of the important thing is location, guys. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of noise. 1 minute. Okay, location. So there are three there are three types of locations available inside when you wanted to create a bucket. One is region, one more is dual region, one more is multi-region. Okay. So these are the three things, sir. What is the difference? One by one we will see, sir. Very important thing, let us try to understand it. Sir, you select a region. Sir, this is your bucket. You selected one region and you created a bucket. Inside a bucket, you have one file. Okay, that file is sales.csv. You have uploaded this file. Okay. Now tell me, you selected a region called some US. Okay, instead of that name, instead of names, I will say region 1. Okay, you selected one region 1, we selected one region, and inside you have created a bucket, and inside the bucket you have uploaded a file. Okay, so what happens if this region crashes? What happens? Think about it like this, guys. What happens if this region has a failover? All the data related to whatever the bucket, the data inside the bucket will lose, right? So this may happen for the single region. When you select a single region, if we do not know, there can be no failovers, but in any case, if there is a failover happened at that particular region, all the data inside your bucket will be gone. Okay, so that is the problem with the region. So that is the reason it has a, and one more thing is like a latency will be there, and data loss may happen. Data loss may happen because you have only selected, there is no replication. I would say instead of that one, no replication. Instead of that one, I will say no replication. Okay. So these are the two things. There will be a latency. When I say latency, you wanted to see here. You wanted to get the data from this particular bucket. There are plenty of the people need to have the data from this bucket. But the thing is, like many people are accessing. That is the reason there is a latency because of a single region. So there will be a latency and there is no replication. When I say a replication, we will see in a dual region, guys. Okay. Now, if the failover happens, the data will be losing. So I don't want it to go such scenarios. What I will do is like, I will go to the dual region. In a dual region, what happens is like, whatever the data that you have uploaded, right? It will be replicated to the one more region, sir. What it will do, sir? It will be replicated to the one more region. Okay, in a dual region, you have created a bucket with a region 1 and you have selected a dual region. So whatever the file you uploaded, sales.csv, that data, say similar data, the same data will be replicated. One more copy of the same data will be available in the region 2 because it is a dual region. So one more region will also be there the data will be copied or replicated to the one more region. Okay, it is replicated to the one more region. What is the advantage, sir? If region 1 failover happens, or if the region 1 crashes, there will your data will be available all the time. Your data will be available from the this region too. Okay, so this is what is an advantage. Okay, this is what I am calling as a replication.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
If we delete region 1, data will be deleted in region 2.
Both, yes, yeah, region 2 as well. It's if you intentionally delete a data, that means you don't need it, right? So that means data will be deleted in the both the regions, because unnecessarily you don't want it to pay the extra charge, right? You intentionally delete it means both the places it will be deleted. But if you wanted to recover it, that there's a chance. Okay, but if you upload a one file and at any cost you don't want it to lose the data, you go for a dual region. And what is the advantage? Here it is less available, but here less latency, replication is there, and availability is there. Okay, the data is highly available. And one more thing, sir, again, one more thing. When I say dual region, I am getting these kind of benefits from the dual region. What if I go to the multi-region? So the multi-region will be selected by those companies who don't want to lose the data at any cost. At any cost, you are running a business, very important for you. You have a data that you don't want it to lose at any cost. In that case, you select a multi-region. In a multi-region, the data will be replicated between 2 or 3. Sorry, the data will be replicated between 2 or 3 regions. The data will be replicated between what, sir? 2 or 3 regions. Okay, so this is the region 3. More than 2 regions, sir. So this is an advantage. What is this one, sir? At any cost. So the requirement is very simple. At any cost, because the cost will be increasing from the region to the multi-region. Because I will tell you, because when you get a lot of benefits, the cost will also be there like that, right? So when you go to a multi-region, the data will be replicated to the multiple regions, and the data will be highly available. Okay, the data will be highly available. There is no latency at all. We can say minimal latency. The latency is very minimal. Okay, comparatively very less. Very less latency, sir. And one more is replication is between different regions, more than 2 regions. Here only one region, sir. There replication is only one region, but replication between more than 2 regions, and data will be highly available. So this is a question in the interviews also. How do you make your data will be highly available? So I select a multi-region option so that my data will be highly available all the time. Okay.
Here
So
also in any
even though
region, also in any region, if you delete data, it will replicate to all the region in multi-region.
In a multi-region also, it's only about, sir, intentionally you wanted to delete it, it will be deleted every place, sir. First thing. Okay, intentionally you delete it in one location, it will be deleted everywhere. But if you upload a file, but you thought that if for example if there a failover happens to this region, that was nothing but unintentionally the data is not available. In that case, your application will be connected to this data, even though this region is also not available. Your application or your data processing system will be connected to this one. That's the reason data can be highly available. Okay, so this is what it happens. For example, when your application is running or when your data pipeline is running, you have connected to this one. Okay, you have connected to this one, your application or a pipeline, whatever it is. When you connected to this one, if this region in a multi-region, this bucket is not, the data inside this, the file is not available, or this region is not available, automatically it will be connecting to this one, because it is a multi-region. Automatically it will be connecting. This is the reason all the time the data will be highly available. Okay, but in this one, if this region is not available, it will be connected to this one. If this is not available, it will not be connected to that one. That is the reason the data is less available here. Yeah. Any questions, sir?
Sir, if any changes made in region 1, it will be applicable to other.
Of course. Yes. Yes. So it is just a replication, sir. Whatever you do the changes in the region 1, it will be replicated. Okay, you cannot see it. Okay, sir, where I can see my replication, you cannot see it. Okay, automatically backend GCP will be taking care of it. This is a concept. So what do you have to understand from this concept, sir? What I can get from this concept, if you ask me, I will say like this. So if you wanted to, the cost will be less here, less cost. Okay, I will say L here, medium cost. It is a high cost, not high, but the cost will also be lesser, but comparatively. Okay.
Sir, if I am accidentally updated any files and I want to reverse that one, whether it is possible.
You wanted to revert the changes?
Revert the
you can go for the object version. We will come to that topic. Yeah. Yeah. So what is the concept what is the thing that you have to get from this location is that, so according to your requirements, sir, I wanted to, it's okay for me if it is less available also, that is fine. I don't need a replication. I want a less cost. You can go for region. No, at any cost, I don't want it to lose the data, or at any cost, or the data to be available all the time. In that case, you can go for this one. Okay, so this is what is all about the location, sir. Now you understand that what is the mean by the multi-region, dual region, single region. Dual region highly available across largest area. Dual region highly available across 2 regions only. And lowest latency with a single region. So this is what it is. Okay. Now if I select a multi-region, the cost will be, you'll be able to see here, guys. Okay. And if I select a dual region, I will select 2 regions. And the cost will be like this. And if I select a multi-region, the cost will be little less. There is no replication cost here. Okay, so this is how it works. So as per my business, I don't want it to lose the data at any cost. So I will go with the multi-region. And inside that, I select Europe or Asia specific or this one. For now, I'm going with the US multiple regions. So this is the region I have selected. Inside that US, the data will be replicated to the multiple regions. Okay, so this is all about a location type. Once you have selected a proper location, click on continue. And this is where is your storage class. Sir, what does that mean by storage classes? You set here, you look at here. In a storage classes, we have 4: standard, nearline, hold line, and archive. Okay, let us see what is this. Okay, storage classes. Okay. So in a storage classes, you have to, in a storage classes, we have 4, sir. One is standard storage class, nearline, whole line, archive. Okay, so let us not worry about these 4, but let me tell you, sir, I have a requirement that I am uploading one file to one of my bucket, and that file I wanted to access it frequently. Okay, what you are doing, sir? You have created one bucket. And inside that bucket, you are uploading some file called sales.csv. Okay, this file you wanted to access it frequently. In that case, you selected the bucket storage class as a standard. Frequently accessed data. Okay, what is this one, sir? If you wanted to access this file frequently, then you can go for the standard storage class of this bucket. Okay, this is your bucket. Okay, this is one thing. And nearline, sir, you don't want it to access it frequently. Your manager told that we are going to access this file, or we are going to retrieve this file, or we are going to work with this file once in a month. Okay, once in a month, then you can go for a nearline. Okay, so this is what is. And one more thing is like, no, it is not frequently, it is not once in a month. We are just accessing once in a quarter. Then you can go for a cold line. And one more is, you can say once in a year. What is this? What are the advantages that we are getting? I will tell you, sir, but just understand the concept. Okay, so if you have a file inside a bucket, if you are accessing all those files inside that bucket frequently, you can select that bucket as a storage class of standard. Okay, no, if you are not frequently accessing it, if you are only wanted to access it once in a month, you can select as a nearline as your storage class, or cold line as your storage class for once in a quarter, archive for once in a year. Okay, so this is all about storage classes, guys. Let me show you one advantage diagram. You will be able to understand it. 1 minute, let me open that. Somewhere I got it. Okay, yeah. Last time when I was explaining, this is the thing. Okay, the advantage is something that I will tell you. These are the 4 storage classes, guys. The storage class for standard, nearline, cold line, and archive. Okay, you will be able to see here. As I told you, see, the advantage is that, so when you are accessing frequently, the transaction cost is very less and the storage cost is very high. Okay, and when you are accessing it once in a year, the transaction cost is very high, the storage cost is very less. So this is the advantage that you are getting. Okay, what does that mean, sir? You have to be very smart when you are selecting a storage class. Okay, unnecessarily you don't want it to pay extra money here. Okay, there is a cost associated. I want you to understand one more point. Where is my paint? There are 2 costs associated. When you interact with a service, any service, there are 2 costs associated, guys. If you interact with and if you are working with any of the resource in the GCP, and not only in the GCP, even you go to the AWS Azure also, there are 2 costs associated. One is storage cost. One more is compute or retrieval cost. Okay, these are the 2 costs associated. Okay, one is storage cost, one more is retrieval or compute cost. For Google Cloud Storage, it is a storage cost will be there, retrieval cost will also be there. Storage cost is nothing but for storing this particular data inside a bucket, that is a storage cost. When you retrieve it, so this is when you access it, that is a transaction. You are doing some kind of a transaction, right? You are trying to load this data to some other data processing system. That a transaction cost or that retrieval cost will also be there. So that is what we are talking about. So for the standard storage class, so like this one, the transaction cost is high. The standard transaction cost will be increased here. Transaction cost will be increasing. Okay. So the transaction cost will be increasing from the standard to the archive. That means, what does that mean, sir? When you are accessing once in a year, when you access that file, the cost will be very high. But when you are frequently accessing the data, the cost will be very less. Why, sir? Because again, there is a one more cost, that is storage cost. Okay, storage cost will be very high here. Storage cost is very high here. Okay, so the storage cost is for frequently accessed data. You have to, the data to be available all the time when you frequently access it. That means the storage cost for that particular storage class is higher, because when you frequently accessing it, the data to be highly available, to make the data to be highly available all the time, the storage cost is increases. Okay, and one more thing, archive. When I say once in a year only, because when I am retrieving it once in a year, the data need not to be available all the time. So for the making not available all the time, I don't need to pay extra money. The storage cost is very lesser here, but the transaction cost is, after a very few many days, you are trying to retrieve the data, retrieve the entire data. That means the transaction cost is very high. Okay, so this is how the benefit that you are going to get it, guys. Okay, one is transaction cost, one more is storage cost. Okay, transaction cost will be very high for the archival storage class, and storage cost will be very high for the standard storage class. Okay, this is something that you have to understand. Okay, any questions are on this one? Okay, so this is something that I want to understand. Okay, okay, 1 minute. Some more things are also there. Okay, storage classes, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so this is what is about storage classes. Now you understand that what is a storage class, guys. Now you have to, you can also read it here. Best for short-term storage, frequently accessed data. Best for backups and data accessed less than 1 a month. And best for disaster recovery, less than once in a quarter. Best for long-term digital preservation data accessed once in a year. Okay, so according to your requirements, sir, you are creating a bucket. That bucket is only for the disaster recovery. That means you are only accessing the data once in a quarter. You go for this code line. Sir, I am creating a bucket. I wanted to use that bucket files inside a bucket all the time. You go for the standard. Sir, I wanted to be create a bucket for the backup purpose. Then you can go for the nearline. Okay, so this is what you have to do, sir. Okay, so this is all about storage classes. Now I wanted to access the data frequently. For that reason, I am selecting a standard as my storage class. Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
At initial stage, if we have chosen Archive, immediately if we want to choose the data,
correct.
will it be
very good
available?
question? Yeah, very good question. So initially you have selected as an archive as your default storage class, but you later some point of time you understood that this is not going to be archive. You wanted to be access the data very frequently. That's your question, right? So you can make it. You can convert a storage class from one to the another according to your requirement. Later also you can edit the bucket. So this is a editable option.
So if we edit also, we can pay in the middle also.
We can, sorry, the cost will be until that time. For example, you for 1 month you have mentioned it as an archive. The cost will for 1 month will be only for that particular archive storage class. And after next month you have selected it as a standard as your storage class. The cost will be from there. Whenever you select the standard, from there the storage cost will be according to the standard storage class. And our Google will be GCP. Google Cloud is very smart enough to understand that how you are selecting the storage classes. Not only that, how the computing and how the resources you are using, how much data. Even though you create a bucket, you don't upload anything. Google Cloud will understand that you just created a bucket, you have not uploaded anything. That means you are not using any resources. There won't be any cost. And you selected a storage class, this one, that one, this one, that one, but you don't uploaded anything. There is no cost at all. But if you uploaded one file inside a bucket and you selected a standard for 1 month, and after second month you selected archive, the cost will be according to that. Standard, the cost will be standard into some 10 rupees or some 100 rupees, standard into 10 plus archive into some 150 rupees is total equals to for 2 months. That is a charge of that. So that is how it is. Okay.
Okay. So do it require downtime to change that class of the storage?
There is no downtime. Yes. I mean, there will be a little latency, but it is very less. Yeah.
Okay.
When you select a one storage class from one that to that, how much time it wouldn't take much time. But if it is a lot of data, even though a lot of data also, it wouldn't take much time. In the back end, there can be like 1 or 2 seconds. It would be in milliseconds, guys. It would be in milliseconds. The downtime will be. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that is one thing. That's those two questions are very good questions, guys. Even I wanted to cover that. Yeah. So that is one thing. And we have selected, now I have selected a standard because I wanted to frequently access the data. So that is something that I have selected. Now, this is where is a very important thing because I wanted to control the files inside my bucket. Very important thing because everyone wanted to worry about the security, right? So this is where we are securing our buckets and files. So very important topic. Please be focused on this one, guys. Okay. So the thing here is, where I will keep it here. Okay. Okay, or I'll keep it here somewhere. Yeah. So the thing here is access control. What is this access control? I want you to focus on this point now. Sir, I have created one bucket. Inside that bucket, I have many files like sales.csv. I have schema.json. Sir, I have a project confidential file, confidential dot some text file, and there are plenty of other confidential or some what I would say sensitive data, some customer sensitive data, sensitive underscore data dot some word file or whatever it is, sir, word file. Okay, so these are the files inside my bucket. Consider that this is your bucket. Okay, you have created a bucket, and while after you created a bucket, you have uploaded these many files inside the bucket. Okay, there is a one project manager or there is a client. Okay, think that there is a client, there's a data engineer. So we should understand that the client has to access what kind of objects inside a bucket, and we should understand the data engineer has to access what kind of a files inside a bucket. So that is what
Sir,
told.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Here I have one question.
Yeah.
That storage class you explained no, last time.
Yes. Yes.
So that storage class is applicable for each and every file in the bucket, or it is applicable as a whole for a bucket?
It's to the bucket. So we are not worried about a file, and it's only for the entire bucket. Okay. So when you select that file, when you select the bucket as your storage as standard storage class, all the files inside that bucket are applicable to the bucket. I mean, it follows the bucket level. So that means that means if it is a standard, the file is also a standard storage class. Okay, so there is proper word for that. So I forgot that. Inherited. Okay, so inherited. So when you select a storage class for the bucket as a standard, it inherits all the files will also inherit it from the bucket permissions. That means standard it will get from the files also. So if it is a bucket is a standard, all the files inside the bucket is also a standard. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now back to the access control, guys. So in access control, so we are talking about two things, but now let me create a context for that. So I have created a bucket, but that bucket will have these many files. Okay, these many files inside it. Now we have to understand there is a client and there is a data engineer. So the data engineer has to access only sales.csv, schema.json, and it should not have access to the project confidential files and sensitive data. He should only access these two files. Okay, he should only access this file and this file. Okay, but inside a bucket. The data engineer has to access few files inside a bucket, only few files. What about a client? A client has to access all the files inside a bucket. All the files inside a bucket. Now, how do we achieve it? This is a very good question. How do we achieve it, sir? I have a bucket. That bucket is having a plenty of the files, but few of the files has to provide access to few people. But some people needs an entire access to all the files inside a bucket. So how do we achieve it? So that is where the concept of access control come into the picture. There are two concepts here, sir. One is, so for example, for the data engineer, what I will do, I will provide access at rate object level. Okay, what I'm doing, sir, for this data engineer, he should only access few files. So that's the reason I will provide him access to the object level. So I will go to this file, I will select his username and provide access to him. I will go to this particular file, I will select his username, again I will provide access. So object level permissions I will provide to him. Okay, so that he will be having access to that objects, whoever has provided a permission. Okay, and what about this one? So this one is access at rate bucket level. So when I provide a bucket level access, he can able to access anything inside that bucket. Okay, when I say a bucket level access, so I am providing access to the entire bucket. That means whatever the files inside that bucket, he will be having access. So these are the two concepts, sir. Okay, access at rate bucket level, access at rate object level. So this is what in other terms access control called as a uniform as this is fine grained. Okay, the name it is saying that uniform access to the entire files inside a bucket. That is nothing but a access at a bucket level. Fine grained, the access will be a granular access to the specific objects inside a bucket. So this is what is nothing but a access control, sir. Any questions? So this is a client need to have. I have given two specific names as a client and data engineer. Tomorrow in your project, when you're working in a Google Cloud project, you have to understand who needs to have a what kind of access. If a project manager is there, he should have access to the entire project. If the data engineer one is there, he should only access a sales.csv. There is a data engineer too, he should access a schema.csv. So you should provide a access control according to your business requirement or according to your access permissions. Okay, so this is how you are going to achieve access at rate bucket level, access at rate object level. That can be achieved with the help of what concepts are uniform as well as fine grained. Okay.
Yeah. Once the object is created, it will have which type of access, sir?
By default, if you provide a if you provide a bucket level access, that means it's not like that. It's not that the question is not like that, but it can be like this. So for example, you created a bucket and while you are creating a bucket, you will select something. Okay, you see here, while you are creating a bucket, you will select here whether it is the access control needs to be uniform or fine grained. Okay, you select here. According to that, if you select a uniform, it ensures the uniform access to all the objects inside a bucket. Okay, if you select a fine grained, specific access to the individual objects by using object level permissions. Okay, so this is how. So sir, for example, if I upload a file to a bucket, what is the access? By default, there is no default. You select here. Okay, when you select uniform access to all the entire files. You select a fine grained access to the specific objects. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay.
Then what is the difference between the ACL and the IAM?
Yes, that is where. But the concept is something that this is a concept. A concept wise, controlling a bucket level access will be done with the help of the uniform, and controlling object level permissions with the help of the fine grained. But how to achieve it? That is a very good question, right? So how to achieve it, sir? That can be achieved with the help of the IAM. For uniform, IAM, and fine grained will is ACLS. So we will see this in action. Okay, what is this object level? ACL is nothing but an access control list. Okay, so let me tell you here also. Let me mention here somewhere we are writing.
At any point of time, we can edit now. We can edit the.
Yeah, we can edit it. That's not a problem. You selected today as a fine grained, but tomorrow you wanted to make it as a uniform. That is fine. You can do it. Okay, so this can be achieved. Uniform can be achieved with the help of the IAM, sir, and this can be achieved with IAM plus ACLS. Sorry. Okay, so when I say fine grained, you can actually provide an entire bucket access as well as object access, guys. This is not, so it is a next level. Fine grained is a next level to the uniform. So when I say you can provide both bucket level access, you can provide with help of the IAM, and ACLS, nothing but an access control list. So object level permissions also you can provide it here. Okay, so we will see in action how it is in next 2 minutes. Okay, I think we are up to time, but so shall we continue tomorrow, guys? But you understood the concept here, right? The concept is something that the access control, there are two concepts. One is uniform, one is fine grained. In a uniform, you provide access at rate bucket level. In a fine grained, you provide access to a specific objects to a specific person. Okay, you have to understand specific object to a specific person, because if you understand that specific, when I select that file tomorrow, and when I click on the permissions, I can just enter his email ID and provide access, whether that is a editor access or a browser access, whether it is a viewer access, I can able to select it tomorrow. Okay, what kind of access we need it. But concept wise, bucket level access, object level access. Uniform can be achieved with help of the IAM, fine grained can be achieved with help of the ACLS. Nothing but an access control list. Okay, so these are the two concepts, sir. Tomorrow we will continue from here. Yeah, any questions anyone having?
Yeah, so who had that uniform access, he can access all that bucket, right?
1 minute, guys, 1 minute. Okay, yeah.
Hello.
Sorry, yeah, someone is talking. Yeah,
who have the uniform access.
Wait a minute.
Okay, please continue.
Yeah, Sasi Kumar, can you talk now? Yeah.
Initially, if you are selected as the uniform, so whatever object we are creating for a particular fine grained also, it will first created as a uniform only. That time using IAM and ACL, we have to change it to fine grained. Is it correct?
Correct. That is correct. So the question here is very simple. He has asked a very good question that I wanted to tomorrow also explain, but now I will tell you. So, sir, today I have selected a uniform access. That means I can only provide a bucket level access today. Okay. So if I wanted to make it as a fine grain, because I wanted to I understand the business today that yesterday I have selected a uniform, but today I understand that I have to provide a object level permissions to few people, because I don't want it to provide an entire access to the bucket. So in that case, you can go for the fine grained with the help of the ACLS. That is a good question. Yes. And it's also vice versa also. Today I have selected a fine grained, but I don't want it to apply a fine grained. I wanted to apply a specific access. You can come back to the uniform also. That is also fine. It can be editable. This is also editable option, guys. Yeah. One more guy is asking a question. Yes.
Yeah. So my question is like similar to that. So if someone have that uniform access, that means he have that fine grained access, right?
If someone is having a uniform access, that means he cannot have a fine grained. Yes.
Yes, means he have the entire bucket access. Means he can access all the fine grained also access also here.
So uniform, you can only achieve bucket level access, but with the help of the fine grained, you can achieve both uniform plus object level.
But objects are inside that bucket, right?
Yes. So see here, this is the next level. When I say this is level 1, this is level 2. When I select a fine grained, the level 1 will be achieved. For example, in a fine grained, if I wanted to provide him an entire bucket access, I can do that. Or in a fine grained, if I wanted to provide only specific object access, I can provide it. you can understand level 1 and level 2. Level 2 is above than the level 1, right? So that's how.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, someone is asking about IAM, right? So we will be having a separate concept for the IAM, guys. IAM is an identity access management. Identity, who can do what on which resource, everything tells by the IAM. Okay, we will be having a separate topic. Maybe day after tomorrow onwards, we are going to start it. Okay, very important topic. What is the role? What is the permission? What is the access? What is the principle of least privilege? What is a resource hierarchy? What is a user account? What is a Google account? What is a service account? Everything we are going to discuss there. Okay. Yeah.
If you're providing any access, it will go for approval, uniform access or fine-grained anything.
One more doubt, sir.
Yeah, when you apply 1 minute, guys, when you apply one particular access control to a uniform, you can only do that when you are an admin or when you are an owner to that project. Okay, it's not that, sir, I wanted to provide access to some, I'm a data engineer, I wanted to provide access to one more person. It's not like that. But you create a bucket. When you are creating a bucket and when you have access to create a bucket, you can do whatever you want. That means you are the owner of that particular bucket. Then I say that, sir, I am the owner of the particular bucket. I am creating a bucket now. So I selected uniform today. You can provide access to the any number of people as a bucket level. And you can make it fine-grained also. You can provide a specific object level of access also to the specific people. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Someone is asking a question. Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Sir, here I am having doubt whether these 4 files which is there won't follow parent-child architecture, sir. It is not inherited, sir. Because if you are giving us a bucket level, it can override the object level now, sir.
No, I did not get the question. This is not a resource hierarchical relationship. There is no. These are the individual files. Okay, these are the individual files.
Okay.
So it is. You wanted to provide access bucket level, you provide it. You want a specific object to the specific user, you provide it. Okay, so that is how. Yes, guys. I think I wanted to talk to you, sir. That's why I'm asking your phone. Okay, what about auto class? So no, sir, I am not going to share my contacts here. It's not a correct way to share my contacts. So you can connect with our team if you guys have any questions. Cloud Shell and Cloud SDK, and how is data synchronization done across the regions? We will see that how, yeah, data synchronization will be done in the backend. We are not going to be a part of it. When you select a proper storage, a proper location, that will be done. And yes. And what about auto class? Yeah, auto class is something that according to you. For example, nowadays you are coming, earlier you worked with a gear system, right? So there are 5 gears. Nowadays the car comes with the auto class. So according to your speed, the auto gear will be happening. Likewise, according to your usage or according to your retrieval and storage, it will be automatically selected. Okay, auto class. Yeah.
We can create a bucket through script.
We can create a bucket. Tomorrow we are seeing it. Yeah.
Okay, script, not through command.
Yeah, with a script means what?
Like Python script like that.
That can also be done. Yes, we can create a bucket with help of the script also. That is also we can able to create it. I will tell you that as well. For example, if you are working with the Python language, when you are working on application or something, you wanted to, interact with this bucket or create a bucket, right? You can do that. I will tell you. That script is again a command only. Inside the script, you are using some command, but the script is little different. Yeah. No worries. I'll tell you.
Can you share the notes, running notes?
Sir, the notes, the access to these notes will be having only shared to from today onwards, maybe maybe tomorrow. So once all the people have completed the registrations, what I will do is like I will provide a link of this particular notes in the group. There will be a group created. So what I would suggest to you is like you try to complete your registrations. Okay, so that I will be able to provide an entire access to my notes so that you will be able to have the access. And also, I think from tomorrow on, from tomorrow onwards, I think I'm expecting all the people will be completing the registration so that I can share it maybe tomorrow. That is one.
Your voice is breaking.
Okay, yeah, try to complete your registrations. I will surely share it with you guys. There are plenty of information here. And one, for example, whenever I do like this also, I will take this snap and keep it there. Okay. I will take the snap and keep it there, so we'll be able to have that information here as well. I'll just copy it here. Okay. So for a later point of time, if you wanted to refer, you can also refer from here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Complete your registrations with for any other to avoid the interruption. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great day. We will continue from here tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. Let us start the session. Okay. So if you remember, yesterday we were discussing about how to create a Google Cloud storage bucket.
Recording in progress.
Right. So let us pick it from there. Okay, let me click on create storage bucket. So we should first give a proper name to the bucket, guys. So I'm going to give a name like this. Storage bucket. That's 10. Okay, so this is the name that I have given, and that name is available. This is where we have to select a proper location. We now know that there are three types of locations. One is region, dual region, and multi-region. there is no replication in the region. There will be replication in the dual region to the across two regions, and in a multi-region there will be a replication in multiple regions, and which is having a high availability, sir. In multi-regions you will be having a high availability, guys. So that is also we can see. Okay, so I am for now the location type I am selecting as a multi-region and clicking on continue, and here we have to select a proper storage class. There are 4 storage classes you can see here, guys. Okay, so one is standard, nearline, cold line, and archive. We now know how to select a proper storage class also. We have seen yesterday, right? So this is what it is. So if you are accessing the file frequently, then you can go for the standard. If you wanted to access a file once in a month, you can go for the nearline, and once in a quarter for cold line, once in a year for the archive. And the cost, and there are 2 costs associated for the each service, right? For this one, there will be a transactional cost, there will be a storage cost. Transactional cost will be very high for the archival storage class, and storage cost will be very high for the standard storage cost. Why? It is because if you wanted to frequently access the data to be highly available, that is the reason the storage cost will be very high. Likewise, if you are accessing once in a year, the data has to be available once in a year. So that is the reason the storage cost is less. But when you are retrieving the data, so the data transaction cost will be very high. So this is the main difference between the storage classes. So we now know how to select a proper storage class as well. So for now I am selecting a standard, guys, because I wanted to create this bucket for what purpose? Frequent. I am clicking on continue, and this is where we are. This is the place where we are controlling the data inside the buckets, right? When you create a bucket, so you are going to upload some objects inside it. So how to control the access to those objects? This is where we are defining that. So there are 2 things. One is access control with the help of the uniform, access control fine-grained. Uniform means there will be a uniform access to all the buckets. Uniform access to all the objects inside a bucket, and fine-grained access to each object inside a bucket. Okay, so uniform means access at bucket level. That will be achieved with help of the IAM, Identity Access Management. And one more thing is access at object level. Each object you are going to provide access, that can be achieved with the help of the IAM plus ACLS, nothing but the access control list. Okay, so this is what one more thing. Now I am going to select fine-grained now. Okay, click on continue. So the final step is object versioning or retention policy. What is this one, sir? Now I want you to understand. Okay, very simple again. Object versioning. What is this one, sir? You have created a one bucket. Think like this. You have created a one bucket. So this is your bucket. Okay. Once you created a bucket, you have uploaded a file. Think like this. You have uploaded a sales.csv file. Okay. For some purpose, you have used this file. Okay. For data processing purpose, you have used this file. Okay. So for here, you are doing some data processing. Okay. Here you are doing data processing. For that, you need this file. You took this file from here. Okay. And you are doing some activity on it. Okay. Okay. What you have done, sir? You wanted to do some data processing, data cleaning on this sales.csv from this bucket. So you have loaded that file sales.csv from the bucket, nothing but a Google Cloud storage to data processing system. And here it is. Okay, once you have removed null values, something like this, you have cleaned something like removed null values, removed duplicate values. After that, where you have to store? Again, I wanted to store here, guys. Okay, when you wanted to again store here, now understand, sir. When you wanted to again store here, now tell me what are the options to you. What are the options? Either you can overwrite this object, okay, because it is the same file. Either you can overwrite this object, or you can create a one more version of this object. Understand this point, sir? Either you can overwrite this object, okay, like this. For example, you keep this file here and keep it here. That means the file was overwritten. That means what happened, sir? The original file is gone. The new file with the clean data is there. So this is one way of doing it. So this is a object versioning. For this point of time, you don't need to be object versioning. Okay, you don't need to select the object versioning. But sir, I don't want that. What I want is like whenever I do some kind of activity on my file, I wanted to create a one more version of it. What I wanted to do, sir, I wanted to have a one more version of it. Now, if I store this file here, it should be a one more file, one more version, and one more object like this. Sales.csv. It is a 01.csv. Okay, so this is how I can go for the version. So when you enable the object versioning, it will not overwrite the existing object, the original object. It will create a one more object, sir. Okay, sales. Okay, what is this one, sir? Sales 01. 01 is your version of next version of your original file. Okay, what is the main difference between the sales.csv to the sales01.csv? So you have done some processing on top of it. Likewise, if you have taken sales.01 and CSV, okay, what happened is like you have taken this file again and you done a one more versioning and you have created a one more file. Okay, if you done one more versioning, that means sales_02.csv. So this is a third version. Likewise, you can go for, if you do any times of a activity on this file, you can go for any number of versions. Okay, so this is what is nothing but object versioning. Okay, what is the main advantage of the object versioning? You can keep your original files along with the newer versions of this file. Okay, so objective versioning enables you to keep the original file as well as processed files. Okay, modified files. So this is the original file. From this one, this is a modified file, and from this one, this is a one more modified file. From this one more modified file. This is how. This is was original and this is modified. This is original and this is modified. This is original and this is modified. So this is how you will be able to create object versioning. But if you don't enable the object versioning, what will happen, sir? All this will be overwritten. So you don't find these versions, you will only find this thing. Okay, all files will be with the same name and it will be overwritten to the overwritten. So this is how you will only be finding a sales.csv. But if you enable the versioning, then you will be able to find like this. But the question is, how many levels of object versioning I can have? Sir, I can go, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many versions I can enable? Or how many levels of object versioning I can have? So that thing you can actually select in your here. Okay, so what happens? So when you enable the object versioning, what will happen, sir? For restoring deleted or overwritten objects, to minimize the cost of storing the versions, we recommended to limit the number of non-current versions. So for example, if you enable the object versioning, That means the versioning will already enabled. So maximum versions per object is 1. Okay, or you can select 2, or you can select 5, or you can select anything. And non-concurrent, expire non-concurrent versions after this many days. For example, sir, you select 7. Okay, so for example, what happened? Sorry, you select 4, sir. Okay, you select 4. What happened is like, so 1, this is a 1, 2, 3, and 4. One next the 5 will come, this first original file will be gone, because what will be, you select only 4 versions. Okay, so again there will be only 4 versions for that particular object. Older versions will be deleted. Again, if a new more version comes, and the very original file will be deleted. Likewise, you will be able to have. Sir, when it will be deleted? After 7 days. After 7 days. Like this, for example, if you select here 3, sir. Okay, 3 versions. If you select, what will happen is like, so you selected 3, and this is your first version. This is your second version. Third version will be there. Third version, when the third version came, this file is gone. Okay, when the fourth version came, sales.04.csv, because we need only 4 version, right? When the fourth version came, this will be gone, because at a time, how many versions you will be having it? Maximum number of versions will be at a time 3 only. So how it will be enabling it? The existing, the very older version will be removed. The recent last 3 versions will be available. So this is how it is going to be managing, guys. Okay, so this is what is called as objective versioning. What is meant by objective versioning, sir? Instead of overwriting the objects, you are going to enable the objective versioning for tracking purpose. Whatever the activity you are doing, right? So for that activity, you can able to track your what kind of activity you have done it. So this is what is the main advantage of objective versioning. Okay, hope you got it. Okay, and one more thing is, final thing is, what was that, sir? Retention policy. Okay, this is either objective versioning or retention policy. Let me tell you now. Retention policy. So very simple, sir. Retention policy is very simple. You see here, you have created a bucket. What is this one, sir? You have created a bucket. That bucket, inside that you have uploaded a file called sales.csv. Okay, sales.csv. So if I delete this file, the file will be automatically deleted. Okay, if I try to delete the sales.csv, this file will be automatically deleted. But I don't want to delete this file until some period of time. Okay, as soon as the file is uploaded, until the some period of time, it should not be deleted. That is known as a retention policy. You put a retention period here. Okay, retention period. That retention period, if you select some 5 hours, okay, what will happen is like, if you upload a one file, to this bucket, until 5 hours, that not even a single file will be able to delete it. You cannot delete it. Okay, this is your requirement in the companies, right? For example, if someone is uploading a file, no one will be able to delete the file until some period of time. So this is what is known as a retention policy, sir. You put some retention policy on top of your bucket. So as soon as you uploaded a file to the particular bucket, that cannot be deleted. If the retention period is over, you can able to delete it. Okay, that retention period can be a 5 minute, 1 minute, 1 hour, 5 hour, 10 hour, 1 minute, 1 month, 1 year. So it can be anything. Okay, so let us see what is that here. So for preventing the deletion or modification of buckets, objects for a specific minimum duration of time after being uploaded. Okay, so it is also like not only for deletion, sir. also for modification, two things. Okay, you cannot delete it, you cannot modify it. You don't have a right access here on this file until retention period is over. So you cannot do things. You cannot delete the file, you cannot modify the file until the retention period is over. So this is what is nothing but a retention policy. You see here. So retain the objects for, like I would say, for 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes means 180 seconds. Okay. So I have selected for 3 minutes, sir. Okay. So now I have selected all the things. Object versioning, I don't want it to go for object versioning. I wanted to go for retention policy. Okay, I have selected that one. So access control is standard, storage class is standard, location type is region, and the bucket name is this one. Click on create. Confirm. Okay. Now you see here, sir, bucket storage bucket batch 10 is created. Okay, so you have created a one bucket with all your requirements, sir. For example, let me upload a file. Okay, let me upload a file, guys. Okay, so I am uploading a CSV file, that is customers.csv. Okay, one file is uploaded. You see here customers.csv. Okay, now tell me, sir, what is the retention period? Until 180 seconds, I cannot be able to delete it, right? So if I try to delete it, so click on this file. You see here, click on delete. Click on delete. It should not be deleted because it is not 3 minutes. So it should throw an error. See, bucket could not be deleted. You can click on view details. You can see here it is failed because object has a retention policy, cannot be deleted or overwritten. After this time, you can able to do it. So this is what is a retention policy, sir. If someone wanted to delete the file within the retention period, they cannot be able to do it, sir. After 3 minutes, it is only, we have selected only 180 seconds. You can select 1 day, you can select a day, some 10 days, 1 year also you can select. So it is your own choice. This retention policy period is your own choice. For now, for demo purpose, I have selected 180 seconds. Okay. And location region is this one, storage class is this one, and public access is no public access. Sir, what is the main advantage of the Google Cloud Storage? For storing the bucket as well as retrieving the data. Okay, for example, tomorrow, yeah.
After retention period is over, the file will be automatically deleted.
No. It will not be deleted. You can, if you wanted to delete it, you can delete it. Okay, retention policy is something that retention, my retention policy, the name itself, it is say that this file for sure will be available for this much time. Okay, for sure it will be available. Later point of time, if someone is deleted, it will not be available. If someone is not deleting it, it will be available again. But retention policy, for sure that file will be available, but for that period of time. Okay, after some time, if someone wanted to delete it, it can be able, they can able to delete it. But within the retention, even though if someone try to delete it, they don't have access. Even though someone try to overwrite it, also they cannot do it. Okay, So this is something.
We can
And
change
yeah.
that retention period, right?
Sorry.
We can change the retention period, right? If you want to delete now.
Yes, we can change it. We can change it. For example, we can go to the protection and we can edit it. Okay. I can edit it. Now it is 180 seconds, right? You can change it to 120 seconds. Or you can change it to some days. Okay. 2 days. Okay, anything. Or I don't want it to remove it at all. I don't want a retention policy at all. This. Okay. Entire retention policy. I don't want a retention policy at all.
Okay.
You can delete it. Yeah. Okay, retention policy is gone. You see here, there is no retention policy option here. For example, if I try to delete it, it will be deleted. Done, deleted. Okay. So this is how. If you wanted to have a retention policy, you can go. If you don't wanted to have a retention policy, you can remove it. Okay. Now I have uploaded one more file, sir. It can be deleted automatically because it's easy, because there is no retention policy. That's one thing. And sir, now in our Google Cloud Storage, the main activity that we are doing is like storing the data. And one more thing is retrieving the data. Sir, how I can retrieve this file? Okay, how to retrieve the file? I mean, how I can access this file from some other service? For that one, you click on this particular service. Click on the particular object. You see here, this is the metadata of the object, guys. For that particular object, which object you have selected here? You see region underscore country list.csv. This CSV file, this is the metadata of that particular file. Okay, that file is a type is text, size is this one, when it is created, last created, what is the storage class, and public URL is not left, authenticated URL. This can be an authenticated URL, sir. This is a GS util URL. So what is the difference between this one and this one? Sir, authenticated URL, if someone wanted to access this CSV file from outside the Google Cloud platform, then they can go for this link. If someone wanted to access this particular file from the inside a Google Cloud Platform services, they can go for this path. Okay, so accessing is very important, sir. It is not that I wanted to store the data. It's not my intention to store the data. My intention is to do some processing on top of it. Tomorrow I want to do some processing. So main intention is, it's not our main idea to just to store the data. Tomorrow we need to access the file. How to access the file? This is the link of that. Inside the Google Cloud, you can use this link. Outside the Google Cloud, you can use this link. Okay, so these are the accessing. Now, sir, the very good question we have to think about is like, okay, I wanted to provide access to each person. Okay, object level. Anyway, we selected this as a what's a fine grained, right? Okay, so if you click on this configuration, this is a bucket configuration, sir. You see here, this is a bucket configuration. Okay, inside a bucket configuration, this is a metadata of the bucket. So when it is created, when it is updated, what is the location? You cannot edit the location later. Replication, you cannot edit it. But storage classes, if you wanted to change it to, you can change it to anything. Okay, you can edit the class. Okay, sir, this is your bucket if you wanted to access it outside the GCP, inside the GCP. Okay, access control is fine-grained. Tomorrow, if you wanted to make it as a uniform, also you make it. So now the bucket is what, sir? It is a fine-grained access, the control via fine-grained. Now, I wanted to provide a permission to this bucket. Okay, so the access control is what, sir? Fine-grained access. So access to objects can be granted through object access control list. So this is what is this. So now there are two things that I can do. One is grant access at a object entire bucket level. So I will select some account here. Okay. This is not correct name, sir. Anyway, but I'm sorry. Okay, it seems like it is correct only. I didn't create it, but yeah, you go to the Google Cloud Storage, you select a storage admin or storage object admin, creator or viewer. You select one thing, save it. So bucket level, you have provided an access to that particular person. Who is that person? Somewhere here it is. For this person, you have selected object admin. Bucket level storage object admin. That means he is an object admin of this particular bucket from now on. No, sir. I don't want it to provide a bucket level permissions because I don't want it to provide a bucket level because he is a data engineer. He should be only have access to only this file. Okay, so only this file we have to provide access. Then in that case, you see here, you are inside a CSV file. You click on edit access. Okay, what is that user, sir? Add an entry, and it is a user or a group. You select either group also, domain also, project also, public also. You can select user. And what is that name of him? Saidhul Johnny at gmail.com. Okay, and what kind of access you wanted to provide him? Owner access or reader access? That means viewer access or owner access. You can provide a owner access, can save it. Okay, so this is what is nothing but an object level access. You provide an object wise. Okay, you went to the CSV. That means now you can see who has access to this object. So this person, from now on, this person is having access to this bucket. Okay, so these are the all other things are like this editor, owner, viewer, or these are the common, sir. It is about all about project, and user is my account. So you can see here, right? This is my Google account. But any other account entries, any other access, if you wanted to do, you add an entry, you provide a email name or this one, you select here. Okay, whether it is a owner or reader. Okay, so this is how you are going to edit the access of each object. So object level permissions, you are going to achieve it with this option. Okay, hope you got it, guys. Any questions on this one? Okay, hope you
they
got
can
it.
able to edit the file, everything from file level permission.
So yeah, they can. For example, if you select it is a owner access, they can do it.
Okay, reader means
Modify
just
it,
they
delete
can.
it.
Okay.
Modify it, delete it, anything. If I select a reader, he can only view the file.
Okay, but they can't upload the file in that bucket, right?
No.
Okay.
If it is reader, no. But if it is a owner, they can upload it, they can create a new file, they can modify it, they can delete it, anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how you are going to achieve a object level permissions. As I also told you, bucket level permissions can be achieved with the help of what, sir? IAM. You go to this is your bucket. You go to the permissions directly. Bucket level permissions means you are inside a bucket only. You are not going to select anything. So you click on grant access. This is your IAM. Okay, this is you just click on grant access. You select that particular principal or nothing but an account, and you assign a role. Okay, so this is how you are going to achieve a bucket level permissions, and that way you are going to achieve a object level permissions. Clear?
Yes.
Is it clear, guys?
Yeah, clear.
Hope you guys are with me. So this is how two things. Now everything is good, sir. Now I have successfully created a bucket, and I have uploaded an object. I selected a retention policy. I know how to select a retention policy. Now I know how to provide a permissions to the bucket level as well as object level also. And I know how to access the file with the help of the outside the GCP, how to access it, inside the GCP, how to access it also. I know that, sir. And I think all the things are here. Okay. So this is all about storage, Google Cloud Storage, creating a bucket from the console. Okay. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me, sir. Otherwise, what I will do is like now, I will try to tell you how to create a bucket with the help of the Cloud Shell. Okay. That is very simple, sir. You don't go to this thing if I say that thing, because code is very simple. Okay. Yeah. I think no one is having any questions, sir. Now that means we now know that how to create a bucket with the help of a cloud console. Now let me activate the cloud shell. Sir, we now know how to activate the cloud shell also. We go to the top right corner and we click on this activate cloud shell. Yeah, someone is asking a question.
Sir, can you just give me one example for ACL? ACL, how you are creating, sir? Through ACL?
So I'll go to this one, bucket. I'll click on the file. ACL is nothing but a object level permissions, right? So object level permissions. What does that mean, sir? I have to first select my object. I will select my object. Permission means access right. Click on one. Add an entry. Add a entry, username, and whether it is a reader or owner. Click on show. That's it. Done.
Only two permissions, a reader or a owner?
Ah, yeah, there are only two permissions. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So now we will see how to create a bucket with the help of the with the help of the command line tool. Okay, let me activate. So let me go to this first page. Sorry. Okay, this first page, you see here, I can activate the cloud shell, right? Okay, click on this activate button. So cloud shell will be activated here, sir. Okay, so even though when you are inside a cloud shell also, the very first thing that you have to do is like you have to be selecting a proper project, sir. Okay, first thing, gcloud config set, sorry, config set project. Okay, the project, you see here the same code. I have not done anything, sir. The same code I copied and pasted here. Okay, I don't want it to do so. So I copied and pasted here. What is my project ID? I select my this one projects. I select my project ID from here, copy it and paste it here. Click enter. That means it is going to, we are going to authorize it. So that means the project will be changed now. Okay, updated property. So from now on, this is the project will be shown here. Okay, this is our project ID where we are working. Okay, so once you selected a proper project, now you have to create a bucket. Sir, very simply, if you wanted to create a bucket, you don't want to worry about all of those things, then just click on commands are gsutil commands, sir. Okay, why they are calling gsutil commands, I will tell you. Okay, create a bucket. Not only create a bucket, sir. So if you wanted to interact with the command line tool and wanted to create a bucket or object or whatever the thing inside a Google Cloud Storage, all those commands are starting with the gsutil, sir. All the commands will start with the gsutil. That's the reason they're going to call it as a gsutil commands. Okay, all the commands will start with the gsutil. So that's the reason gsutil commands. So what does this gsutil commands imply? gsutil commands are nothing but a GCS to interact with the GCS. Okay, interact with the GCS from the cloud shell. So the gsutil commands, all the commands will begin with the gsutil, sir. So that's the reason. Now, if I wanted to create a bucket, no worries about that, sir. I do not know about the commands I have already listed here. You have my notes, you see here. So how to create a bucket and bucket properties in the shell? Select a proper project first thing, and after that gsutil commands. Okay, we already know what is a gsutil commands now. gsutil commands are the ones, when I say gsutil, you are going to interact with the Google Cloud Storage from the Cloud Shell. So that is what is gsutil commands. Now you see here, sir, if I wanted to create a bucket, somewhere there will be a create a bucket. You see here at the end, create a bucket. What is this command, sir? Okay, gsutil mb gs slash // bucket name, we have to provide it. Okay, now I will go here, gsutil mb gs slash bucket name, I have to provide it, right? It should be a very unique name. We already know. If I, for example, if I give bucket /1, do you think it will be creating? Because the bucket name is already taking, right? So you see here, bucket 1 is already exist. Someone has, because it should not, it should be a globally unique name. So far no one has used this name. So that's the reason bucket 1 might have been taken by some other people in the Google Cloud Storage, right? So that's the reason you cannot able to create it for that one. Now I will come up with a very unique name, that is demo bucket resources. Okay, so this is the bucket name I have given, sir. You see here, if I, as soon as I click on enter, you will be able to see at the top the bucket is started creating. You will be able to see here. Okay, so if I refresh it here, see here, sir, demo bucket resources created just now. Okay, very simple. By default, it will take by default location type, by default storage class. Okay, by default public access are subjected to ACLS. By default fine-grained access, protection is none, all of these things. So by default options, it will take it. No, sir, I don't want it to take a default actions. I wanted to create with a different options, right? So for example, I wanted to select a proper storage class. Sir, I wanted to provide a bucket location also. Sir, I want to provide a what I would say retention policy also. You can also create a bucket like that. Okay, so this is something like this, gsutil mb. Okay, you hyphen mention p, the project ID you mention here. Okay, all the things if you wanted to mention. So this is one thing. And the storage class, so hyphen c, you mention the storage class. So the storage class you wanted to do is like a nearline. Okay, and if you wanted to select a location, hyphen L, the location is you wanted to select a multi-region. Okay, and the retention policy, I think it's PRC. I don't remember, sir, but it is retention policy. You select 1 minute, guys. I don't know. I forgot actually how to put a retention policy in this one. Retention period or something like that. I forgot. 1 minute, guys. Somewhere I forgot. Bucket with the retention policy in Cloud Shell. Okay, that I will tell you, sir. Okay, that is fine. And if you wanted to go for uniform bucket level access or fine-grained bucket level access, that is also you can say. So if it is a uniform, you can just mention uniform. Okay, why it's not coming? Hyphen uniform bucket level access. So this is what. Sir, if you don't understand this L, you can also mention like location. So that is also fine. Okay, so if you don't understand, sir, I don't understand this one, hyphen location also you can mention. Location, or if it is you don't understand the storage class, then you can also mention hyphen storage class. Okay, is equals to, you have to, I think we have to mention equals to. Whenever we mention hyphen, we have to mention equals to. Equal to. Likewise, we mention project, right? So we will also mention hyphen project equals to. Okay, so this is how MB we mentioning project storage class. Location spelling is wrong. Location, okay, as well as uniform bucket level access. So I think all of the things are here. So what is the final thing that we have to mention, sir? Bucket name we have to mention, right? So I will mention GS// the bucket name I wanted to mention is something I do not know. I do not wanted to create this something a dummy. I will create it, sir. Later I will delete it. Okay, enter. Something wrong? Okay. Key location minus L directly I can use. Okay, you can use directly. This is what he is saying, sir. You can directly mention like this. Okay, instead of selecting all of these things. So let me just copy this thing and I will go to my notepad and we will try to write here and come here and try to do the same thing, right? Okay, if I wanted to create a full-fledged bucket, okay, let me increase the size so that you will be able to see here, guys. Okay, 16. Now, so instead of mentioning the entire bucket, he is saying that use only -p. Okay, -p, that is project ID. Storage class -c, that is nearline. Location -l, multi-region. Uniform bucket level access.
Now it's showing retention also. Can you add it?
Yeah, we can also now put a retention policy also. Now retention and time. So this I will mention here as somewhere retention. The time instead of time, what I would say, some 10. By default, it will take some 10 seconds, I believe. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, this bucket name, I will put it at the front, sir. I don't want it here. Okay, I will go here and I will mention create this bucket, and on this project, on the storage class is this one, and the location is this one. Okay, and the bucket access is uniform, bucket level access, and retention policy is this one. I'm not sure how to provide this 10 seconds or just 10 is enough, but we will see. GST to MB. Let me copy this thing. Where is that? Let me clear the window. Let me provide it here. MB does not support file / URLs. You mean GS? What does that mean? I have provided that only, right? MB does not support file.
Otherwise, we can create the bucket in the existing this one demo like.
No, we can only create a bucket. It's only the bucket. We cannot create a something like this because it shouldn't show like this. Let me try to do it one more time. Okay, instead of this one, what I will do, we can also use one more command also, but I will also try that G cloud storage buckets create. This is also we can use it. Let's try that as well. There's some problem. So retention, something wrong with the retention, guys. Did you mean retention period? Yes. So what I will do, I will remove that retention now. For now, I don't want it to worry about it. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Let me create a bucket with very simply. I don't want to worry about these things. Okay, I think so. Let me update it here first. Okay, GSUtil MB. I have given a project ID. So this is my project ID. -P. I have given project ID. -C. I have given storage class. -L. I have given a multi-region. So let me remove all of these things. 1 minute. So let me just copy this thing and try to create a bucket. MB does not exist. I don't know what's wrong with it. You mean to use a GS//URL? I know. 1 minute, guys. Let me see what is this error. This is the first time I'm seeing it. Use right. We created a bucket with the GS there. It is asking to throw this support to the domain URL. Let's see what is this error. Okay. So in that case, I will do like this. He's saying that you use this at the end. We actually created at the end only first. Yeah. So this is what it's trying to create it. Location constant is not valid. Okay. So the location what we have mentioned is multi-region. In that case, I can select any location. That is also fine. So, but now this is how we create it. Okay, got it right. So let me show you one more time. For example, if I wanted to use this particular code only to create a bucket, okay. So what we will do, I will go to the location. Okay, instead of multi-region, what I will do, I will select some region, sir. Okay, US hyphen east hyphen 1 or just east 1. So it will create a bucket inside that location. That. So if I refresh it, it will be created here. Okay, see here, something like we have created a bucket name. This is our bucket name, right? Some query, something like this. So this is what is a bucket. It is created inside a region. This is a region. Okay, so this is how you can able to create a bucket from the Cloud Shell as well. Okay, so you have created a bucket from the Cloud Shell. So this is not our just creating a bucket, right? Sir, for example, if I wanted to delete a bucket, what I can do, sir? Okay, for that all the activity thing you wanted to do, I have listed out all the commands here, sir. Creating a bucket, this is how you create a bucket. Sir, if you wanted to delete a bucket also somewhere, delete rm, and you can just mention delete means rm. Okay, you can just mention gsutil, sorry, gsutil rm. If you wanted to delete this particular bucket, right, copy this thing, gs // this is the one. So enter. The bucket will be deleted. Or else matched. Did you mean to rm minus r? Yes, sorry. Rm minus r whenever you wanted to create it. Removed. So if I refresh it, you don't find that particular file here, particular bucket here. Bucket is deleted. So you can create a bucket, delete a bucket. No, sir, I don't want to create a bucket and delete a bucket. For example, just now I have created. So earlier we have created a demo bucket resources, right? In this one, I do not have any files. Okay, what I wanted to do is like, I wanted to copy one file from this bucket to that bucket. Okay, what I wanted to do, sir, I wanted to copy one file from this bucket to that bucket. For example, it is this file, sir. Okay, Java file.csv.js. This file I wanted to copy from this bucket to that bucket. Okay, for that one, I'll just go here. Okay, first thing I want you to understand is like copying a file. Okay, copy file. So somewhere there will be a copy. So this is CP, GS util CP. You wanted to use the existing path and new path, right? GS util CP. What is the path of that existing and the new path? Okay. I'm going to do what, right? So GS util copy. I wanted to copy. Which files are you wanted to copy? So this is a file. So this file, right? GS util inside this bucket. This is a file I wanted to copy. Copy this path. Okay. To where you wanted to copy, sir? I wanted to copy to. So this bucket, right? Batch 10. This bucket I wanted to copy. The file has to come here. Okay. You copy this thing. Okay. Now you see here, //v, enter this one. And while copying also, I wanted to create one file. So it is a Java folder. I wanted to create one folder. So I created one Java folder. Inside that, it has to create that Java file.js has to be moved. Okay. In that case, you see here, sir, it is moved. Operation completed. Copying what's this file to the mentioned bucket. So this file. So if I go here and now I do not have anything. If I refresh it, I'll be able to see one folder here, Java folder. So Java folder I will see. Inside that I should see the file name. Okay, Java file.cs. Okay, so this is how you can also copy, move a file, delete a file. You can also, sir, I don't want this file now. If you wanted to delete it, you can also delete a file. So any activity, whatever the thing you wanted to do, you can able to do from the Google Cloud Storage, Google Cloud Shell as well. Okay. Okay, guys. Any questions?
Sir, in one bucket we can store as many files,
Yes. Any number of files you can store. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
While creating a bucket, it will take automatically, right, sir? That multi-region like and all.
This will when you
just using Cloud Shell we can edit, right, sir?
I mean, if you wanted to edit it, there can be a way, but the thing is like the code becomes very complex.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? So this is how you actually go through. I mean, you actually wanted to interact with the Google Cloud Storage from the Cloud Shell. There is a command for each and everything, guys. There will be a command for each and everything. What you just have to do is like you just have to make yourself comfortable with the commands. That's it. Okay. The common commands I have listed. List all the buckets. For example, if I wanted to list all the buckets, okay, GS util ls. So it will list out all the buckets inside my Google Cloud Storage. You see here, these are the buckets. These are the buckets. If I wanted to list all the files inside a bucket, ls, inside a bucket, for example, I will take this bucket. Okay. It will list out all the files inside that bucket. You see here, this is one, and there is a folder. Okay, this is a folder. If you wanted to list out all the files in one more bucket, so anything can be done here. If you wanted to list it out, Okay, download a file, sir. I wanted to download something. You can download it. You can upload a file. You can, if you wanted to view a file, sir, I wanted this file to be viewed. Okay, so I wanted to view a file. So gsutil cat is the file. Cat is a command to view the file, sir. What is the file you are viewing? So this file, which one? Regions underscore country underscore list dot csv. You wanted to see that, you mentioned cat command. That data will be shown here. You see that data is shown here. Okay, the data is not in a correct way, but it is like this is how you can see it. Okay, so these are the things that you can all do, guys. Okay, what you have to do is like create a bucket from the console, create a bucket from the Cloud Shell, try to do some activities from both of the ends. So that is where you are going to add. So if you wanted to have more commands, gsutil help, you can also click on help. You will get some help here. So what are the commands inside the gsutil? You will be able to see all of the things here. Okay, so for example, moving an object. Make an object. Make means create an object. MB is a command to create an object. MV for move an object or rename an object. So likewise, RB remove the buckets. RM remove the objects. Okay, so all the things, update, versioning if you wanted to do. So ACLS, anything if you wanted to, all the commands are here, sir. The only thing is that we have to make yourself comfortable. But sir, what you suggested, do we have to go all of these commands? No. No one will be learning all of these commands. The only thing is like it's important for us to know how to create a bucket, how to delete a bucket, how to create a folder, how to delete a folder, how to create an object, how to upload an object, how to download it. Those commands are enough. You need not to worry about all of the things. Okay. Again, you just have to know if something goes.
So what is the purpose, sir? What is the purpose of object lifecycle, sir?
Sorry, object of?
Object lifecycle, sir.
So object lifecycle, yes. Yeah. So this is something kind of a rule, sir. Whenever you wanted to add some rule. So for example, like think like this, after some days, you wanted to make your storage class, standard storage class to nearline. In that case, you can create a rule here. Okay. So set a storage class to nearline after something. Set a storage class to cold line. So that kind of activities you can do it. Okay. For example, if I click on continue, on what basis? On age. If I mention age, how many days? After 30 days, I want this bucket, whatever the bucket which is there, right? That is will be set from standard storage class to nearline. Okay. So that kind of a rules you can add it here. Okay, this kind of a rules you can add. If you wanted to add it, you can go for the object lifecycle. Yeah. You can also read it out here. Lifecycle rule lets you apply some actions to a bucket when certain conditions are met. For example, switching your objects to colder storage classes when they reach or pass a certain age. Okay, so this is how it is going to take. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Good morning. Actually, today is my first session. So may I know the duration and all for this course details?
Yes, the course duration will be 45 hours, sir. It's going to take up to close to 2 months. And the course content we have already explained. If you need a course content, you can connect with the team. The course content is already displayed. We are going to high level if you wanted to understand. Sir, if you wanted to understand high level course content, I would like to tell you here. These are the topics that we are covering, sir. Data lakes, Google Cloud Storage, RDBMS solutions, Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner, data warehousing, BigQuery, NoSQL databases, Bigtable, ingestion tool, PubSub, streaming data ingestion, data processing. We have a Dataproc, Dataflow, Data Fusion. We are covering all of these things. Workflow orchestration tool. We are covering the Airflow and IAM as well as Cloud Functions, Cloud Scheduler. So all of these concepts we are covering high level. Okay. So topic wise, if you wanted to see the details, you can see here.
BigQuery will be deep dive or just this one after loading the files?
No. It's almost a deep dive only, sir. Almost all the things like nested fields, how to work with the data warehousing concept.
Queries by using the SQL queries also we can check it. Huh?
Yeah, yes. From SQL queries, some loops also I will try to help you on that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, and at the end we are not at the end, guys. Whenever we are talking about airflow, I will be talking about airflow project itself. Okay, orchestration with help of this. So we will be having a real-time project as well. So whenever we are talking about that particular tool, we will be having a scenario-based projects as well as real-time projects as well. I am going to explain it here. Yeah.
Looker
So
is
these are
coming.
the main concepts that we are covering. Yeah. Sorry.
Looker or Studio, like.
No, no, sir. This is we are not covering the visualization components here.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
share
Any
the
other?
notes? We got the recordings, but we don't have notes.
Sorry.
We didn't receive any notes. Only the recordings has been shared.
Yes, yes, yes. So I have not shared the notes. It's because I want everyone to be registered. Once everyone is registered, I will directly just send a link so that you will be able to access it. Maybe from Monday onwards, I will be able to provide you access, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other
Yes,
questions?
sir.
Any other?
One question. Is this all this covered in big data? Means it's part of data engineer or what?
It's a part of big data course, sir. It's a whatever the thing that we are focusing on is a big data. That means a data engineer, big data developer, all of these things. Okay. It's more of a big data.
And what all things comes under data engineer? Means all this comes.
Yes, all of this comes as a data engineer. You are going to cover all of these things only. Yeah. So when you are working in a big data projects, in a flow, you will be working in almost all of these things. When you are working in a data engineering, either you will be working on only BigQuery or only one cloud SQL, something like that. But when you are working in an entire big data projects, all this almost will come into the picture. Yep. Any other questions, everyone? Okay. So that is it, guys. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up the session. So tomorrow we will meet and we will try to see all. I will try to tell you how to, recapitulate all the Google Cloud storage, and I will tell you how to create an account. That's we will end this week, guys. Hope you are learning something from this week. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all. Yeah, someone is asking how to copy multiple files from one bucket to another bucket. That can be possible, sir. I will tell you. Okay, tomorrow you make me remember this question, so I will tell you. That's very simple. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Complete your registration, sir, so that there won't be any interruption during the classes. Yeah. Thank you all. Hello everyone. Welcome to the session today. Yes. Hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. So let me just recapitulate what we have discussed in the Google Cloud Storage, and we will see the next topic. Okay. So if you remember, if you can see my screen, I have shared my screen, guys. Hope you guys all can see my screen clearly. Okay. So we now know that what is a Google Cloud Storage. Google Cloud Storage is one of the data lake available in the GCP. And what we can do here, sir, what is this actually? It is an elastic object storage service. Elastic means it is the elastic name suggests that it is a scalability. Okay. So any amount of data you can store, that is what is meant by elastic. A service for storing your objects in the Google Cloud. Object is an immutable piece of data consisting of any file of any format. Okay. What is meant by object, sir? Object is nothing but an immutable piece of data consisting of any file of any format that you can store it here in the Google Cloud Storage. And you store these objects. You store these objects in the containers. What is meant by a container here? Analogy for container is nothing but a bucket. So you create a bucket. Inside that you keep your objects. Objects are nothing but a piece of data of any file of any format. Okay. And one more thing we have also seen. It's worldwide storage and retrieval, guys. Okay. So of any data at any time. Okay. And these are the use case scenarios that the Google Cloud Storage is usually used in the companies. So serving website content, for example, if there is a website content is there, it is going to be stored in the Google Cloud Storage, and storing the data for archival and disaster recovery, distributed data, large data objects used in via direct download. For example, usually Google Cloud Storage, for example, nowadays you might have seen Netflix and all of those things, right? Most of the movies are usually stored in the data lakes only, but Netflix is actually using the Amazon S3 buckets. Yes, Amazon S3 bucket is very similar to the GCS case. So if you wanted to see a similar service, for example, GCP, we have a GCS, Google Cloud Storage as a data lake. Okay, if you go to the AWS, okay, they have 3 buckets. It is acting as a data lake there. And if you go to Azure, they call it as a blob storage. Blobs. What is meant by blobs? A blob is nothing but again file. The terminology itself it is like that, sir. Okay. Here in the GCP we call it as a object. Here in the Azure they call it as a blob. Blob is nothing but a file of any format. S3 they usually call it as a files only. Okay. So this is how if you go on premises, what is that, sir? HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so this is one thing. So these are all acting as a data lakes in different environments. Okay, earlier we used to use on-premises HDFS is a data lake, but nowadays the cloud platform we are using cloud platforms and GCS S3 buckets blob storage as a data lake. So what are these data lakes? Data lakes are mainly responsible for storing the data and retrieving the data at any time, at any cost, at any amount of data we can store here. So this is what is all about the